Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today? Spoon
TV. Spoon.
Bada 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 bada. Skiddy biddy bida bado.
Tend to forget about the positive stories because a lot of things are wrong here. I agree, but sometimes when you do well in school, you bring a lot of blue marks. You expect your parents to, to appreciate that. Our election that brought some of us here, that now has brought a new president, vice president, is perhaps one of the best election stories coming out of West Africa in the last few years. All right. Our neighbors, some of them changed their constitutions to allow their leaders to continue. Some of that led to coup d'etat. One of our neighbors had elections recently. There were a lot of noise about cheating and sanctions. In other parts of West Africa, there were coups in Mali, in Burkina, in Niger. In Nigeria, there were talks about manipulating the elections there. So that leaves only Ghana and Nigeria. So we need to be proud that we mature democratically. But it doesn't mean that everything is perfect. We need to look at the way our election commission is conducting election here. If we could report the result in 24 hours, there's no reason why the National Election Commission can do that with $70 billion budget. We need election reforms in our country to minimize the chances of cheating. The purpose of this session is to talk about our experiences on the campaign trail. The whole Republic of Liberia is about 3.3 million officially, but we think it's more than that. Out of 3.3 million people, only 105 citizens are privileged to be elected, which represents about 0.0033% of the population. So we are the privileged few, all of us here, and on the other side, plus the two, the president and vice president. So I don't want to regurgitate everything my colleagues have said, because everything they said, I experienced them. But I want to focus on solution. How do we fix this problem? When I was Minister of Finance, when I took over in February 2012, the share of programs or development or projects in the budget was 7%. By 2016, it had gone to 40%. Today, it's at 18%. It's zigzag. Colleagues, we can cry from now to Judgment Day. The power is here to change that. We have the constitutional power to change that. 18% of the budget to development is nothing. So I welcome our new Ways and Means Committee chairman, proposal of our program budgeting, and we have to do it. There are three main components that we're dealing with here to make this country work. What we have is not a real country, really. It's a theoretical country we're trying to manage. We need to build a credible state. When people talk about no police presence in certain areas where people are self-contracting justice, that should bring our attention. That's not a real state. When colleagues say money was disbursed to the police, but no logistics to move around, that's not a real state. When the entire education system is littered with volunteer teachers, that's not a credible state. When your budget is 95% recurrent expenditure, a do-nothing budget, where we just pay ourselves and that's it, there's no room to fix all these problems we're talking about, that's not a credible government. The power is here to change that. But we've faced challenges with that. So we need to go and really sleep on this, whether we want our legacies to be beginning the process to build a credible state, or we continue to make noise around this theoretical state we're in. The government is inefficient. The households, the family structure of this country, the children, there's not a single family in this country today that does not have a child who is a drug addict. The issue of fighting illicit drugs becomes necessary to save the future of our country. After us, all of us here, I'm in my early 50s, 10 years from now, we should give space to the next generation to come and try. We are trying to fix the issues that our fathers and mothers' generation did not fix. So who is in front of us to fix this problem, to continue to carry this thing? We need to look at the drug law. We need to enforce it. We need to invest in the DEA. We need to go to health and put mental health and rehabilitation back on the table.
Thank you, my brother. Welcome.
That's what we need to do. When the budget comes here, that what we should be looking at, the future is going. The drugs is eating away our country's future. Tomorrow's labor force. You bring investors here, who's going to do the work? I have a farm. I can't find workers. I'm sure it's the same story of those who have ventured into agriculture. No workers. The dream of an 18-year-old to 10-year-old today is a $800 motorbike. That's the Liberian dream, folks. $800. It's not about going to school and acquiring technical skills and coming out and making a difference. It's just to get $800 to go hustle. Why? Because we have not created the alternative for them. That's not a real state. So government is inefficient, households are struggling. Then we come in, we politicize wages in the public sector, the biggest spender in the economy. We took from Peter, we gave it to Paul, we made both poor. Which means the purchasing power to business, the third component in our circular flow, does not get the purchasing, and therefore is not able to pay the taxes that should pay these people to come around. That is why we take pay for 3 months, for 2 months, for Christmas, all that was happening here. So meaning this engine of the bus we call government, that includes government, household, and businesses, is not being well serviced every time they come here to us. We are the ones that are supposed to put the oil there. We are the mechanics here. The president is the driver. The ministers are the passengers in the drivers. I mean, in the bus, along with the citizens. They don't run this place. You never gave me easy pass here. When I was Minister of Finance, I came here, I remember 60 times. Now, I'm not angry about that because that's your job.
You came.
And I came.
At least you came.
All right? And where I made a mistake, I apologize. Oh, you politics, you can't apologize. Oh, you can't take responsibility for things. Then where's the integrity? So, colleagues, I heard all of you. All the problems you have, the same problem I have in my place. There's a district, Gumula district, district number 2. The Pune car road there is the car road that was financed by our government through AFL that ended in Palakole in the district headquarters. The bridge that connected that sort of island district surrounded by Tuma River to the north, by the Simport to the west and the south, and by the Via River to the west, that bridge collapsed some 3-4 years ago. So the population there, the highest in the county, don't have access to any economy, not the global economy, not the Liberian economy to that. So I look forward to working with the Bond County senators to make sure that we can open up that place to connect it to the main economy on the Total Highway. We're going to be bold here. Cognitive forum all over the place. Constitutionally, let's ask ourselves here, do they have the right to arrest citizens under the Constitution or our laws, community watch forums? The legislative body has been appreciating. Before we can talk about the executive giving money to the police, they don't have medicines, the police this and that. Let's look at ourselves and see if instead of the 2 million we're talking about to the country, let's cut our own budget now and give it to our people.
Welcome.
Yes, we have to. We will talk about it. I'm only one voice. I'm only one voice, but that doesn't mean I can speak up.
Speak up, my brother.
I may lose the debate,
Welcome. You better lose it.
but I hope we all can reflect about this.
Welcome.
How do we hold them accountable when we don't do that? I want to thank you for electing me to be the chair for the PAC, the Public Accounting Audit. I'm not here to disrupt any system. I'm not here to look back. But, Madam President, colleagues, going forward, every year let's audit ourselves. Every year, let whoever administration sort of work with the ways and means ourselves. Let's begin to put financial systems here. Even if the money is spent, don't worry, no problem. That's how I'm for it.
Those responsibilities trickle down meaningfully in the lives of our people. And that's what I think in the 55th we should be very concerned about. As others said, and I just like to restate, the issues in health, education, and infrastructure cut across all of the 15 counties. And I think it is incumbent upon us to see how we embark on a process of actualizing the decentralization of the country in terms of development. That development should not be concentrated in certain areas of our country and leaving the rural parts or many other areas. If we do that, it's going to be difficult for us to continuously have the support of our people. Even for the current government, it's going to be difficult to have the support of our people. So we all need to take into consideration it's not time for us to concentrate and make the decentralization a reality. It shouldn't just be in theory. Besides, there are few specific issues related to Miami County, some cut across the rest of the country, but I'd like to talk about. In the 54, we embarked on the process of an amendment to the Decent Work Act. Specifically, we wanted to address the issue of pension pay, retirement pay. And the Senate, mine, Police Senator Smith, as chair of the Labor Committee, and I worked seriously. But then it was at the end of the almost at the end of the 54, and we realized there were too many interests that arose. And the discussion got widened to the extent that we didn't have time to conclude. I quite recall at some point in time, since the dollar was involved, I want to make a formal request that the 55th, we endeavor to bring finality to this issue of reviewing the Decent Work Act, to address the issue of pension pay and other conditions of work that are not properly addressed in our law. Also, another issue that is key to our representation here, which we want to bring to the attention of the 55th, has to do with the reconstruction of C.H. Rennie Hospital.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, Charges on the beat.
Turn the spoon to get
Okay, tune to Spoon to be part of our discussion. Tune to Spoon to get your information, to know exactly what's happening in Liberia. Of course, this is where you get authentic information about all of the major happenings. I'd like to say welcome to another fascinating edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We're here again with another edition of the program with the time at 1:30 a.m. in Liberia. Welcome. This is the platform where we get to engage the national issues with diverse views. Here we agree and we disagree. But at the end of the day, one thing that we all have in common is that we want our country to be better and we want to see Liberia progress in the midst of all of the different challenges that we have. So I'd like to say welcome again to the program. I'm glad that you all have joined us. We're streaming live across the internet, YouTube, Spoon Talk Live, Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV, on radio, Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and other frequencies across the country. I'm Nelson Collet. Welcome to the show. Let me go across now and bring in our co-moderator, Moba Zokan. Moba, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, my brother. How was the day today, man?
Yeah, I think I had a good day. I'm glad to be here again. It's a good thing that we are up here. How was your day?
Well, my day was, cool. Just snow a lot, and coming
Yeah.
up was a little difficult, but I
Okay.
got a SUV, which is a truck, higher quality in Liberia, so I was able to penetrate the snow.
Okay.
And then I saw a lot of people,
Wow.
getting stuck in the snow, the traffic, people hitting each other and stuff. Yeah, I don't have time for the snow, so everybody got to be careful how you drive it. Yeah, we call it the web mud.
You're right.
Your own get a rain mud.
The rain mud. Sometimes you get stuck in it, and when you're stuck, and you're there for hours.
Yeah.
And after driving in it, you have to even wash your car, and a lot more. But it's a good thing. They are different experiences on each side of the coin.
Yeah, but the last time I checked, I think some part of Nima in Yekepa was snowing there. I don't know how true it was, and it was like.
Oh yeah, Yekepa is one of those places where it snows sometimes. It snows there sometimes.
I think
I remember. I spent a little portion of my childhood days in Yekepa, and so I remember, So the mountain, the Nimba Mountain, I'm told it connects to some part of Guinea. When you stand from some part of Yekepa, you see that mountain, and when it's the dry season, like now, in the morning hours, you don't get to see the mountain. The dew takes over the entire place. Sometimes during the rainy season, you experience a little bit of snow.
Nelson, I prefer in Liberia, right? I prefer.
But it's cold. It's very cold there. It's very cold.
Very cold.
And I mean very cold. And Prince is nodding backstage as though he has an experience of what we're talking about here.
Well, Mr. Berry.
Mr. Berry, welcome to the show. Princess,
talking about era L. That's era L. That's era L.
You're right. And I remember living era O at the time, but all of these places, I mean, and one good thing about the place is I've not been there for over 20 years or so. But one good thing I know about the place is that the places are laid out. It's not like Monrovia here, where if there's a fire outbreak somewhere, you have to pass through Lockington, West Point, Point 4, and sometimes you don't even get to access the direct home that is being affected. No, the places are laid out. The houses are numbered. The zoning, everything is simply. You can tell someone, come to my house, I live 03 or area O house number this and that. That person will drive straight there. And I mean, anyway,
I think Raymond need to go do that zooming in that Maserati there.
Doing Raymond that time we're talking about.
Doing that time they never did it, but I think this time around they will do that. So.
Doing Raymond that time. Yeah, man, but it's a good thing.
So let me give you guys a little bit of understanding of what zoning you guys attempting to discuss. When you buy a parcel of land, it's already laid out. And the government specified that every surveyor should include rows.
After every what? 4 lots?
I mean, it's a block. So
After
the
every
block, the block system is such that every parcel of land should have access to a row. That's the concept. And then the surveyor does it. But everybody in Liberia is corrupt, and we like to blame others. The landowner, who is the land buyer, buys.
But I think all the things you're talking, all the things the laws will be enforced. That's it. Because you talk all this.
Well, enforcement comes from the people. You're never going to have enough police officers to enforce land law anywhere. There's no country in the world that.
Look at Ghana.
But allow me to explain that so you can understand my concept. There's nowhere in the world that has more law enforcers than the population. The population choose to rebel against law enforcement, they will always, anywhere in the world, overpower law enforcement. So law enforcement does not ensure change. The population desire for change. It's the population that elect all elected officials. The population should demand an agenda. When the population is ready for a change, change will occur. change don't occur in a vacuum.
No,
So
Raymond,
there's not going to be enough zoning
enforcement doesn't
officers.
involve change.
There's never going to be enough zoning officers to enforce the built environment in Liberia if we're not willing. Everybody who buy parcel of land, you know how much fight zoning officers go through for little or nothing? Some of them don't get paid more than $300 a month. You know how many times they risk their life to deal with people who building a home?
Raymond, law enforcement. Let me just jump in for a second.
No, guys, let's protect Raymond a bit because I think he's starting this thing.
But I don't want to forget
very early.
When you feel come in,
he mentioned law enforcement. Yes, can invoke change, can bring change, and law enforcement is not only about police. Like you talk about the zoning officers, that's the first place, or the software, wherever the case may be. I was in Liberia, right? We have a land somewhere, I don't even remember the city, but when we were driving there, my cousin, he showed me a house, right? There's a little piece, the house, it looked like the room is a pantry. So I said, but what kind of funny thing is so? They begin to say, you see their house here? It was built on a road. The person built a house on the road. The government, and that was preventing people from accessing where our land was, and people behind the house. You know the government there? They bulldozed through his house.
Look.
And they kept the road going. And even on Robert Highway and other places, I saw
guys, let's do this.
Francis, you are quite right. But you do not know the percentage of that enforcement have been done versus the one hasn't been done. And I know that because I was there, we did all of that.
But that's a consistency.
Let me just give you guys a picture, right?
Raymond, I'm coming.
The extent of violation in our country,
Raymond,
10% of it have never been solved.
Yeah, Raymond, let me come in quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
The government don't even have the capacity to
the last time our own brother Raymond spoke about this thing, when I responded, people say, "Oh, yeah," but this is the thing, Raymond. I remember the last time we spoke of this thing in passing. Your first response was the Department of Zoning has just a single pickup or vehicle, just a single vehicle that, and they don't have the capacity to cover the entire country to be able to enforce the zoning and thing. And then today you're telling us that the people are underpaid, and that's part of the reason why some of the issues we are faced with are there. And in fact, to have zoning officers all around the place, Raymond, this thing here, I think you're trying to pull up a defense for,
not a defense.
Maybe the zoning people or the government of Liberia, because this is the thing. Let me just zero in on this, because if the zoning department, for example, at the Ministry of Public Works has a single vehicle, that's a plus for them. Is it up to what they need to get them doing their job? No, all right, but at least that's somewhere to start from. Come to think about police depots we have in the country, the people who should be responding to crimes. You go across Monrovia and its environs, majority, over 40% of those depots we have just in Monrovia, they don't have a single car assigned. Least to talk about the rural areas. The last time it was on the news, the only vehicle in the for the police detachment in Margibi County, the people's vehicle broke down. They were calling for assistance. Imagine. Then you talk about a zoning department that has at least a vehicle.
But Nelson, let me cut you off.
Should we take excuses? Should we take excuses
Nelson,
from these people?
Let me help you to see it in
when
perspective.
we have those kinds of issues.
Nelson,
it's not justification enough
Nelson,
for our state to be
you're
the
going
way
too
it
long
is.
to lay the premise, right? Let me give you a picture that you're not able to see.
Raymond, your internet is bad. Raymond,
is my internet bad?
We can hear you.
Yeah, Raymond, your internet is bad.
Nelson,
but no, before Nelson come in, let me not lose my thought. Nelson,
yeah, okay,
you guys not able to see the extent of work.
Wow, the internet is terrible, Raymond.
We can hear you good, Nelson. I can hear you good.
Nelson, you don't give you problem. That is mental, but Nelson make it fun.
Am I?
So Nelson, let me come back.
No,
Let me
but
give you
Raymond doesn't have a good internet. Raymond doesn't have a good internet, so we'll proceed. We gotta move on, guys. We gotta move
But
on.
man, I want to give
Internet.
one or two
In
things
fact,
what
Raymond's
happened in
gadget
Ghana.
is
We're
not doing well.
talking about enforcing the law on zooming, bro.
No, we're not going
we gotta
Ghana.
we gotta get some
We're
clarity to
not
our
going
viewers.
Ghana.
No problem.
We're not go Ghana. Ghana is far away. Let's deal with
Yeah,
Liberia
but we gotta
issues.
go Ghana.
Mr.
But
Gray, I see
before,
you just sitting in.
no, listen. We can take the ideas from Ghana,
And
right?
Raymond is
Raymond, we can't hear you. You are muted.
Raymond, let me just come in 1 second, but let me just tell you how the law.
Hold on, my man. Let me give you understanding. The work that you call
okay.
it.
Yeah, but let's have more about to conclude. You are muted. You are muted.
No, you muted me.
Let's
You muted me. You put an allegation out and you need understanding. Our listener needs understanding. The extent of zoning work, you compare it to a depot. I mean, you don't understand the volume of work zoning has. You should be comparing zoning to the entire law enforcement police in the country. Because in every community,
so the entire law enforcement,
that's what you should be comparing zoning to. In every community that has infrastructure that is built, whether road, whether vertical structure, whether saver infrastructure like you doing the port, zoning needs to be there. Is that zone specified for such work? Zoning should be everywhere that an infrastructure is being constructed at every time, ensuring that the plans that infrastructure was approved to be done is going along with that plan. So you do not understand the extent of zoning work. So when you talk about a vehicle and say it's an appreciable stat, you don't have no understanding of what it is. You can't be you can't be counting a million with a decimal one. And that's what you're doing. You're counting million and you're talking about decimal one.
Gentlemen, that's not the topic for tonight. We should move on.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on shortly.
But Roman, listen,
right?
Yeah. Listen, what are you saying? I'm not yet disputing the fact that you are lying or whatsoever. What the thing I made my brother saying here, me and friends say, right? We're discussing about enforcing the law. For example, in Ghana, right? One of the companies from I think from one of the from Israel, right? They were building a very huge building, about 7-story building, and it was to 5. It was on the road, the road that was leading to the next community. You know what the people did? They wanted to bribe the minister, and he said no. He ain't doing it because of him. He's doing it for the future of Ghana. And what they did, he said they will break it down immediately. People were there. They break it down, and the people let their rule. That's what we are talking about. Enforce the law, right? Despite who you can be president when you build on the alley, let the all be there.
That don't happen in a vacuum. There got to be system put in place for that to happen. Ghana didn't do that in a vacuum.
My man, that's how
get some understanding before you come up with these topics.
Thank you.
President just told you he know a story of a building being demolished. You think it happened?
It doesn't just happen in a vacuum. We agree. But once there's a survey done and you have a survey,
the very first thing you guys jump in the gun. Your very first thing for all that to be happening.
No, you're interrupting Francis.
I mean, I don't want to get perspective, right?
Let me make a point before you say I'll jump in the gun.
The problem.
You spoke, everybody listening. Everybody listening. So give me time. The issue here is this. When we talk about law enforcement, people buy their land. I may not be a public or architect or whatever the case may be, but I'm a landowner, I'm a property owner in Liberia. So people buy their land. They come, they do a survey when you buy the land. They tell you there's an alleyway here, there's a road here. You can build within this place. We know that wherever you want to build on that land, you have to know if it's permitted. That's fine, but it has nothing to do with the alleyway and the road. So if you build on the alleyway, yes, government not just gonna come and run through your structure, but they will tell you first. Because government is not running around 24/7 looking at people building and stuff. So they may not see when you start your construction. But they'll let you know when it happens to property and say, you cannot build here, you need to take down this structure. If you don't take it down, you continue to spend your money and build, government will rip that structure apart because you build in an alleyway and you're preventing other people from accessing that road. So there's no such thing as, oh, we jump in the gun. It's just a simple clear-cut case. You build on the road, you build in the alleyway, you build somewhere you're not supposed to build, government will tear it down. But the issue is they're not enforcing it most of the time, so people just go ahead and doing it. But you don't need an army of zoning officers to take care of that. That's why every city should have is a municipal building that are responsible for the zoning in that area.
Okay.
The Marshall Road or Yekepa, wherever the case
We're gonna have time. We're gonna have time. We're gonna have time for this. We hope to have the guys to avail themselves. We're gonna reach out to them, especially Public Works. They have a zoning department there to come up here. But the truth is, what I see our brother Raymond trying to do is that he wants to put up a defense. He wants to provide reasons why we have this issue with zoning our city, looking having this whole issue of inaccessibility. You can stand at a particular location, like at your house, and tell someone, come and meet me at this point, house number this or that. No, it doesn't easily happen here. In fact, if you are driving to go somewhere, you literally ask people from point to point. One place here, and these things are happening. And Raymond is telling us that the zoning officers are not paid well. They have one car. That's the reason why all these things happening and stuff like
But
that.
Nelson,
But anyway,
So Nelson,
we have to make progress.
Nelson, you keep repeating
Nelson,
yourself.
let me get you a
And all of
little
you guys
let
keep
me get
repeating
let me
yourself.
get
Before we can even have
let me
these
get
conversations,
right?
No,
you must
guys.
understand.
Guys. We have to transition.
Yeah,
Let
no,
me
Before
have
you transition,
Prince to come in.
let me get some
Prince,
clarity.
having
So
said, you gave clarity, Raymond. Let's have Prince to come in.
I mean, Nelson,
Ah, wow, Prince.
right here saying with the same thing, but don't want to agree with Raymond. Why you don't want to agree with Raymond that you don't have enough staff, you don't have the expertise, you don't have the finances to have those people, and that's right, that's true. But you understand?
That's not what he's saying.
Prince.
Hold on. The man just
Prince,
told
the echo too much in your background. I don't know.
Right.
You went in the basement to join us or what?
Yes, sir.
Susan Spring is hiding and he's in the basement.
George is coming for you.
I will use my own 10
Yeah.
seconds.
No.
Yeah, let's hear from Sandy quickly. Prince, you have to seriously work on your location. The audio is coming in very terribly.
All right, let me get come back in.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Look, Nelson, Raymond brought this thing up the last time, talk about that one pickup truck or that one vehicle to the zoning department. And I disagree with you again, Nelson, on this.
Okay.
The lack of resources prevents efficient productivity. That's it. If people are not given the adequate resources to do the work, you do not expect them to produce. Zoning.
So then why not dissolve the entire zoning department, dissolve the whole thing since they can't produce?
No. You don't need to dissolve it. You need to empower them. You don't need to tear it all down. You need to empower them. It's like saying teachers are not teachers are not being paid well. So they are now corrupting the system, taking bribery from our students to pass them. So dissolve the entire education system? No. Empower the education system.
Dissolve the current group of teachers, remove them, bring new people on board.
No.
Replace them.
Empower them. Provide them the necessary resources, pay them timely, provide them the needed resources so they can do their work, so they can produce. The police, you said they don't even have motorbikes to do their work. That's why the Zocos are taking over your country. So when you dissolve the police department, no. Empower the police department. And I think that's what Raymond is saying. So then move on. Raymond, don't come back again.
No, let me get clarity.
And so you stay by Raymond. You agree with Raymond.
Raymond, I agree. I'm not agreeing. I just want to get clarity. So
Raymond is always providing information.
Nelson,
clarity,
you spend more time than me.
Debunking
this argument, you spend more time laying your premise before you even make your statement. If you want to
always
do justice,
push Raymond whenever he comes out with his zoning thing,
if you want to do justice to this conversation, allow me to do 5 to 10 minute presentation. then everybody that's debating
Then
this
we'll have
issue
to make it a topic of the day for us to discuss it. We got 5 minutes.
Yes, and you don't have that
Yeah,
time, but
we
yet,
can make it a topic.
yet you keep arguing a point that I don't disagree with you back, but you don't understand why you're making that point and why is it like that. I'm not disputing it's not like that. It is like that, but there's a reason why. And until you can see that reason why, you will not appreciate zoning. There are people in zoning who got master's degree in public planning, in urban planning, but they didn't get a master's degree from Liberia. They can work for any city in the U.S.
Yeah, but
There are people in
the whole
zoning
zoning thing
who have worked in the U.S. for their
You know?
municipality in Liberia. So it's not about capacity. Let me make that clear.
But I don't get what we're missing here. The only thing we're talking about to enforce it. We can either to discuss the part about lack of funding and more funding, but we're not. What we're talking about is enforcing the law, and it can be done if our government takes things seriously. That's it.
And
I'm
I
not
was
disagreeing
saying,
with you, but we
Cindy agree with me, and I'm talking about multiple layers of the problem. I'm not speaking about one, but you're picking one. There's multiple layers of the problem.
Okay, thank
But I
you.
think we should move ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
move ahead.
Mr.
Yeah.
Raymond. Thank you, Mr. Raymond Zizi. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If I have this remote right here in my hand, this remote is there to cut this AC off. It's not cutting the AC off. For every time I try it, it doesn't do the work. What's the essence of the remote? What's the essence of it? What is it doing there? Or should I just keep buying battery for this remote when it's not cutting the AC off?
You just want to tell everybody using AC. Then move on.
The other thing I guess is
But obviously, I mean, but anyway, thank you. We have to make progress. But it's very interesting. Alfred calling. We'll not take Alfred. The man say he.
Yeah, don't pick him up. We'll take us to tomorrow.
Alfred is an expert on every talking point. I don't know where this guy got his expertise from. Anyway,
And make it read. He can read. He can research, Nelson. Learn to start reading 3 books every day. You'll be like Alfred.
You and the man, the same boat. Why are you defending the man?
Yeah, that's Cindy. Cindy knows
But
everything
anyway,
as well. Cindy can read 5 books a day.
No, Cindy can tell you. I'm not expert on the one. I'm not a lawyer. But it's very interesting, folks. Government governance has started. Let me put it that way. We are beginning to see the long-awaited 55th legislature doing their work. We've started seeing a sign of what it's going to be like. And someone says when the Christmas will be good, you know from the eve. In some cases, it doesn't turn out to be the reality, the truth. But again, this is where we are. On the very first day in school, the very first sitting of the 55th legislature, the different senators had the opportunity to make a case, to explain their experiences, to talk about what their thoughts are on the workings of the legislature, their experiences during the campaign period, during the election and everything, and to some extent, a lot of those lawmakers try to flex the intellectual muscles, and they had a lot to say about different issues, their areas of expertise, the policies, what they expect, what their anticipations are for the 55th legislature. Senator DeLone, including all the other senators, they had some comments to make. But interestingly, Senator Amara Conner made a comment that got the entire Senate a bit noisy for a while. And then I could hear someone telling him in the background that you just coming, welcome. When he spoke of the need for the legislature to be audited, he says, I'm not here to change your system. I'm not here to change everything you had in place, but it's important that if we have people coming before us every single time, and we are evaluating those people, asking them the tough questions, we're asking them about the performance report. How well did the budget perform for them? How did they use the budget to give us report on these different issues? Then it's just important that we get to audit ourselves. And this is something that people are divided on. Let me bring a buzz of this one here, and we can move on to other aspects of it. But this is something that a lot of people are divided on. Something that the legislature should not, any discussion that has to do with audit, it should not center around the legislature. Those people, they are the first branch of government. They should not be subjected to anything called audit. They should rather be provided the space to make laws, to review concession agreements, to review all those other documents, to evaluate the individuals that are being appointed or nominated by the president and so forth. It should not be about audit, but it should rather be about what they have to offer. Why others think that these people should be audited. All right. So Senator Connor made this point. I just want us to capture it from here. Let's get a buzz of this one. Then we can make our first input on this. Where do you stand when it comes to the issue of audit for the legislature?
Before we can talk about the executive giving money to the police, they don't have medicines, the police this and that. Let's look at ourselves and see if instead of the 2 million we're talking about to the country, let's cut our own budget now and give it to our people. Yes, we have to. We will talk about it. I'm giving one voice. I'm giving one voice, but that doesn't mean I can speak up. I may lose the debate, but I hope we all can reflect about this. I mean, we are the highest in the entire West Africa. In the economy, we are the highest in the entire West Africa. Are spending on ourselves. I will say uncomfortable things. I'm part of. We need to sit down and have a retreat, 3 branches in one room, one government, before we start, separating powers, and agree on the accountability framework for the 3 branches of government. They get work there, the executive get work here, we got work to do here. And part of our work is the way we are spending on ourselves. I will say uncomfortable things. I'm part of the institution now. If I don't speak up, then what? In West Africa, next to Nigeria, Liberia is the biggest spender on the legislature. When you compare that per capita income of the of actors in the economy, we are the highest in the entire West Africa. Public expenditure has skewed to the legislature. Since 2018, the legislative budget has been appreciating. Before we can talk about the executive giving money to the police, they don't have medicines, the police this and that. Let's look at ourselves and see if instead of the 2 million we're talking about to the country, let's cut our own budget now and give it to our people. Welcome. Yes, we have to. We will talk about it. I'm giving one voice. I'm giving one voice, but that doesn't mean I can speak up. I may lose the debate, but I hope we all can reflect about this. How do we hold them accountable when we don't do that? I want to thank you for electing me to be the chair for the PAC, the Public Accounting Audit. I'm not here to disrupt any system. I'm not here to look back. But Madam President, police, going forward, every year let's audit ourselves.
Okay. So there you have it. Senator Amara Conan, the first day in school, the first day in class. Are we about to see another Darius Dillon? Listening to the presentation of Senator Amara Conan, what does it say? The argument he's pushing, the debate that he has taken up on the very first day at the Senate, talking about auditing that body. We are aware that everything there at the Senate or at the legislature in general is about the number. It's about the numbers. You may have good plans, you may have good bills, you may have, very unique ideas that you put forward or whatever. By the end of the day, it's about the numbers. It's about how many people are going to agree with that which you're bringing to the table. So, well, what Senator Connor is saying, is he going to win this debate? Is he going to win this argument? Is it something that the legislature should be gravitating towards? Is this a debate that even the Liberian people should join, should help elevate? Is this in any way going to benefit the Liberian population? Now, this whole debate about the legislature being audited, does the ordinary Liberian, someone all the way down there at the bottom of the ladder, do they stand to benefit anything from the audit of the legislature that Senator Amara Conan is talking about? Can this debate be sustained? Now, let's hear your take on this, guys. And let's start with Raymond. Sorry, not Raymond, but Cindy on this one, and then we're gonna make the rounds.
Nelson, is a good thing to see that Amara Conan, Senator Amara Conan, is starting. He's starting with this level of energy.
Mm-hmm.
He has some expertise that I strongly believe will add value to the Senate. Now, to his debate, to audit the Senate, the legislature in general, and entire government. Yes, it's going to add to the plate of the Liberian people, the ordinary Liberian people, that know exactly what is happening in the legislation. That know the transactions that are happening. Some of the concessions that are being signed in our various districts, in our various counties, are usually through our lawmakers. That know exactly what deals are being made in the House and in the Senate. It is important. If we are going to audit any branch of the government, why not audit the lawmakers? It is important. Now, would they be sustained? I think there are other numbers of lawmakers that will follow folks like Darren DeLong, that will follow the footsteps of folks like Darren DeLong. And if Amara Conan, Darren DeLong, and we should have more of that, I think we will have a better Senate than the 54th. I think the mistakes made by the 54th may, and I'm using may be corrected by the 55th. I think some of those people that are coming in will learn from those mistakes. They'll be inspired to do the right thing. And I'm hoping that not just Amara Conan or Darius DeLong, but that a lot of them will follow suit. Let's do it the right way this time.
In the midst of the argument that he was pushing, you could hear clearly Senator DeLong in the background saying to him, welcome, you just coming, welcome. You know, a statement that sends a very strong message out there to anyone who has the third eye to be able to see beyond what he's saying. Welcome. Now, this debate, this issue that he's taking up, with the kind of legislature we have, all right, 15 went to election, 11 of them were defeated. The Liberian people retired them. So that means that 11 new senators have joined the 15 old senators who were there prior to the election. Do we have a legislature that can grab, that's going to grab this thing, that's going to embrace this whole idea of audit of the legislature.
No, Nelson, when DeLong was saying welcome, DeLong was directly speaking to the challenges that DeLong faced or has been fixing.
Okay.
DeLong has been raising those issues or some of those issues, and perhaps they haven't been going through. The good news this time is we have the Senate that is being backed by people, like-minded people like DeLong, like Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence. We are seeing the like of Amara Kone coming in, and we will hope to see that more will suffice, right? That
And
more
again, Sandy, the
so
question
hopefully
is,
we will have the
this
number.
legislature, you think that they're gonna have the number of or the number of lawmakers required to support this thing? You think this is going to be a fight that will be sustained?
I think so. I listened to this guy, Edwin Melvin Snow Jr.
Mhm.
Edwin Snow, right after the election, when his colleagues were defeated, you heard what he said. He pointed out to some of the issues that they had. They were protecting the executive. Because of that, some of those people got defeated. I think folks like Edwin Melvin Snow will be awakened. I think they will wake up, Nelson. I think Edwin Melvin Snow want to keep his position. Senator Snow want to keep his position. I think he's going to change codes.
Thank you.
I think to end, we're going to see a better legislature than we saw in the 54.
Now, Francis, to you, this is just the first day. I mean, the very first day. And you know, most times, and judging from the school days experience, the first day in school, everybody's uniform can be clean. The people who can press uniform regularly, the first day in school, all the uniforms, I mean, everything is so unique, sharp, the socks, everything clean. You know, but moving on, you get to see the true colors. The true colors will start to show. This whole debate, Francis, about the audit of the legislature. This energy that Senator Amara Kone is coming with. I listen to other senators. There are lots of beautiful things that they all had to say today at the Senate. Are we going to see this energy being sustained for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 years? Talking about the 55th legislature.
I mean, yeah, every group of legislature has the potential of being better than the last. For our country, it's elephant meat. So people treat us poorly. Our leaders don't work for the people work for them. So that's the problem. It's supposed to be the other way around. So I've said this in the past before when we first got here. Liberia, as poor, one of the dirt poor countries in the world, pays the legislature more than the U.S. that has over 2,000 times the budget of Liberia. Make that make sense. It makes zero sense. I know you talk about West Africa, Nigeria, and Liberia. Liberia is second, but I'm talking about the U.S. Liberia pays more than the U.S. It doesn't make any sense, and we beg the U.S. for money every time. But when the accountability thing also, Darius DeLong was one of the more vocal person. I remember, I think it was last year or something, he talked about they should reduce their salary. But we all knew it was going to go nowhere because the fat cats over there that want to lick their elbow, they will say no. They will vote against it. It will not even go to a vote. Now, Amara Kone added a voice to it. But I think what they should do, the likes of Darius DeLong, Amara Kone, they should take the kids directly to the Liberian people. Every time you say something on the floor and it doesn't get vote or into a team, go to the media. Liberians are listening. That's why the media play a major role in the election, in this election that just passed. So go directly to the media, because when you can shame some people. I know Liberians, people ain't got no shame, but if you beat them too much, they will succumb. So go to the media directly and talk about come to Spoon. Every time you leave the house, you leave Kim up. You talk about, oh, we want, our pay is too much. We ask for a call, the other person said no. Come out and name names. But they will not do it. They will come back and say, oh, I said this, but they will never say, oh, Francis for Salo County said no, he's not doing it. They will just say, oh, nobody won't do it. But call Francis' name. Call the John Brown name. Call Mary Paul name. So that people can know, say, oh, The road that we're not getting to our town here, that you standing in the way of it, they need to grow some cojones and speak up. The media will play a major role. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Our brother Michael Marlowe said something. I talked about it before. The reason some of these guys don't even care also, a senator, when he's elected, and you have a baby today, that baby will be 9 years old before a senator leaves office. There's no incentive for these guys to do better. Representative, the baby will be 6 years old. No, we still we copy our staff from the US, right? Bring senator to 6 years, representative to 2 years, or maybe 3 years. When they have to go for re-election, like they change their clothes quick, trust me, everybody want to leave a legacy to get re-elected because they want to come out to that town and the constituent and say, I did this, I passed these bills.
And this is very important. You know, the whole debate about the tenure, you know, the number of years, whether reduction or maintaining what we have. You know, that's a whole debate that we're going to take up another time for. But again, Francis, let's talk about what the ordinary Liberians stand to benefit from this debate that Senator Amara Conant is bringing to the table now. Talking about the audit of the legislature, how does this benefit the ordinary Liberian? What do Liberians stand to benefit from this?
Nothing. You remember we did this when we were talking about salary, right? When we were talking about salary, we did this thing. How many in the Senate? That's 30 people, right?
Yeah.
And the representatives, there are 73.
73, yeah.
So that's 103 people. If we just if we reduce that salary by $1,000, right? 103 people times 1,000. Me, I'm not a mathematician, so I learned to use my calculator. That's $103,000 a month that we save. And if you multiply that by 12, it's over $1 million, over $1.2 million. We're talking about a year that will be saved. Tell me what $1.3 million can do for schools in the country, of a hospital. Imagine that over 6 years. I'm talking about the term of a president. Imagine that over 6 years. That can do a whole lot, and that's just $1,000. And these people are making, including their benefits and everything, over $10,000. So imagine reducing their salary to at least $3,000 or even $3,500. And now you talk about taking away minimum of $3,000 a month from them. Can you imagine what the country will look like for police, for healthcare, for fire safety, for schools? $3,000 a month taken from each of them. 103 times 3,000 times 12 months. That's
this is beyond what we're looking at. The debate that Senator Amara Conant is bringing to the table now, because auditing the legislature calls for a whole lot. You take, for example, there was recent 30,000 that went around the table. Liberians spoke about that. People agree and disagree with the whole idea of 30,000. Well, the legislators said that it was for legislative engagement, so that they will engage with their constituents and all of that. But at the end of the day, every single lawmaker has different explanation with respect to how to spend the money.
But that's the problem right there. What the audit is very important.
You know, so and then Senator Amara Conant comes in with this whole thing about audit. Now, the first thing to capture here is that some lawmakers did not even say a word about what went on with that 30,000.
Nope.
Some did not say a single word. All right. Some tried to convince their people and all of that. That was that. Now I can tell you that there were some of those lawmakers who took the 30,000 and decided what they wanted to do with it is up to them. Some went and did their personal projects and what have you.
But now, that's the problem with our country.
Those were some of the loopholes in the 54th legislature. Those were some of the eating spots. So Senator Amara Conant coming with this debate is like a debate that's going to that seeks to expose a whole lot. You know, maybe undermine some of what the folks have had as an eating spot. Moba, let me come to Moba a bit. Moba, is this debate going to survive at the 55th legislature? Do you see any possibility of this debate surviving past maybe even 3 months? You are muted, Moba. Can you unmute? Was I the one who muted you? Okay, so let me try to unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I zoom my stuff so my stuff go all the way down. Yeah. I think this 55th will do extremely well, more than the 54th, and that's a downward. Because as my brother alluded to it, Jalayu, right? There will be a competition now in the Senate, and everybody want to protect their integrity and they want to protect their seat for the next coming election. You remember one time when Edison came out and said it. He said if today we're having election, Borja Singbe, Darrell Dillon, and a few others will get elected, some more will be kicked out. Because we were taking instruction from the president, from the executive. Based on that, we'll be kicked out. So for Amara Conan, right, what he said, he need accountability. I think in the audit in the Senate, I think everybody will comply. And breaking down their salary, I believe within myself, it will be a little bit difficult because, you know, they were like normally the senator, the representative always say people big now, a lot of people come to their houses to get people on scholarship, they got to get in house. But there's my question to them. If you take that money, as my brother Francis alluded to, right? If you take that money and invest it in your community through projects, and let's say sounds a concession that will bring companies in the country, you think all these people will be behind you for child school fee, for you to buy them back of rice, for you to pay them light bill, rent, all that stuff? No, they will not, because they are working, they can afford. So based on that perspective, I just believe that Amara Conan come off from a very positive side. And with the hands of Darrell Dillon, Borja Seme, and few other senators in there, I think it will be a great deal for them. Yes, it will be a great deal, and they will. And I think they will end up coming to conclusion that every senator should maybe take, you know, they can even take 500, or it's still a lot of money, even 500 from each salary. Right now, I don't know that salary, but I think they're making close to 15,000, if I'm mistaken. Right? So if they're making close to that, because the last time I checked, Darrell Dillon, according to all their benefit, incentive, whatever, they're making up to 17, 15, something like that. So right now, I don't know if it's still making that amount of money or they cut it down. So if you're paying lawmaker like that, and one thing I'm not going to say, right? It taught me, it touched me. He said, if we take this money out, look at the nurses, look at the police, look at the teachers, people who take their time, right? Get on the street, protect life. Someone only pay $50. And that $50 can't even come on time. And lawmaker in the house, someone that don't know nothing, they're causing for nothing noise, carrying $15,000 to $16,000 a month. But policemen on the street sacrificing his life to go protect life and property, making $50, but his money can come on time. So I think with Amara Conan coming up with this type of suggestion, it's a real 100% accuracy to our discourse, more especially our country, because we will realize that our police will be effective. They will work and they will make sure that crime rate will be low. Because let me tell you, if you're paying police, for example, let's assume $300, right? And they make a good medical benefit. You know, equal class they get Rosso. That man will go there. Although the police, it's not means that like about you doing it because of money, because it's a service to country, and you know. But even if you compensating somebody, compensating in a way that they can relax at least when they're doing something, they say yes. That you know, in America the police don't make plenty of money, but guess what? That benefit alone, that benefit, go to the hospital. Look at that medical benefit. Look at that. Look at that 401k. Look at that insurance. Look at that left insurance. Look at all those small benefit that come with it. Incentive, alone, money, the salary. But all the things come in full. So
in conclusion, Moba, in conclusion, where do you stand on this?
For me, I would stand that the Senate, right? The Senate, there are a lot of people who in there will change based on the past election, that a lot of people were voted out. So a lot of them will come to their senses and it will do the Liberian people work. Because this is what my brother alluded. Let me just conclude by saying this. If any senator, right, who come up and say no in the house and made noise, you say like my man Bongo from Carbon and made noise, right? Guess what? Guess what? The people must take on the media. Come to Spoon, because Spoon is the biggest network in the country. Come to Spoon. Say Spoon, we want to cut our salary to poor road in Kenya Mall, from Kenya Mall to Bo, from the other place, so our country, and we want to pay the police, we want to cost us the money. The senators that will come out and say no, we want the money to be taken from our pay. Let names be names.
Thank you.
Names,
thank you.
So that the people can understand that the next election,
Let's hear you there, Moba.
they must be kicked out.
Let's hear you there, Moba. Let's hear you on this, Prince.
Thank you, Nelson. You see, Nelson, until Liberia and Liberians come back to have a referendum of the Constitution, will always live with what happened in Liberia and in the House of Representatives and the senators. Why I say that? These people go to that house, the people voted them to seek the welfare of the constituents. But they don't go there for that. What the common man put them there for is to enrich themselves. Now, see, since I knew myself, I have not recalled since when our constituents have impinged or put a note or built us to say we impeaching our lawmaker. Since I was born, it had never happened in Liberian history. If someone might correct me, if it have happened before. No, as they put you there, you go up there, you messing up. The constituent, they cannot sit down and sign a petition that, hey, you got to be recalled. I've never seen a Liberian story. That alone, it tells you that when they make the late money, you eat it. That's all you want. Because why? You don't value your vote. Now, those 11 senators that went out, you still got, let's say, another, you took 11 out of the 31, right? You still have a bunch of them there.
Out of 30. Yeah.
Right. You still have a bunch of them there that are still partisan senators.
But Prince, it gets to a point where it's not about partisan. It's not about which lawmaker belongs to which party. It's about the system. It's about what the process has been. It's about how many.
How did they vote? Consider Konafanadiko for? How you saw the vote? You know what you talking about, Nelson? It's the reality. Now, I've listened to.
So how does that affect this whole debate about auditing the legislature?
I read it today. I listened to Ikine. That's the one that make him aware. It makes sense. The man said, even I got a farm, but can we find employees? Because 68% of young children, they're on drugs. What they want? You get an air right now, they want to buy the motorbike. They don't want to advance themselves to go to school, whether vocational or technical. They don't want to do that because the man can earn $200 or $300. By the motorbike, it means a motorbike. So for that reason, it's hard to take it off the street. That's number one thing. But the lawmakers that are in the house, Nelson, they are only there for their own selfish gain. I would say every day, over and
This
over and
debate,
over
this
and over
debate,
again.
this debate, though he said he's not there to change anything, but from what you see, from the look of things, is it going to be sustained?
Yeah, there will be some real fight in our house, Nelson.
Okay, so who are those from your own analysis of the Senate now? Who are those? Maybe give us the name of few you think are going to, a few senators you think are going to push this thing.
Water going to push off something like that. Yomli Kanga, she going to push for it. That was Delon, he going to push for it. The
No, but Senator Delon is her telling the Senator Amara Conan that he's just coming. Welcome, you just coming. You think he's gonna push it as well? Francis, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. I know. I knew you guys. I knew you guys were but go ahead.
He fought. He had been fighting. So he got there. He been fighting, but nobody hearing him. He trying to bring a light to the people. But that's what I just said, Nelson. People still think that, hey, I don't owe my constituent anything. They put me there. I care less about them. That's what I'm saying. If your constituent can tell you, say, we signed a petition to impeach this man, what we put there? They are not happy on history, Nelson. So for that reason, lawmakers go over there. They sign bogus consortium agreement. They ain't care about the people. When you ask them, say, oh, go sit down somewhere.
Okay. Thank you.
Have already.
Thank you, Prince. Thanks a lot. Let's hear from you, Raymond. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Any man who gets in a job must have an agenda, a focus, what he intends to achieve. And hearing the Honorable Man Amara Conan spoke today, you understand that there's someone who comes with a lot of understanding, who understands where we are as a people and what it's going to take to get to where we want to go. And accountability, transparency, and accounting for the money's given us in the government budget is going to be the way to fix our many problems. And that's how we're going to save money to allot them to the rightful areas where there is needed. Considering the amount of money that government use just to run government. And the government that use nothing. So you have to come with innovative and smart ways on how you manage government. Even the money that you spend just for keeping government doors open and yielding nothing. And I think Amara Conan spoke well. The General Audit Agency reports to the legislature. So they are their bosses. So he becomes the boss for the GAC. So when he spoke today, he was speaking about what he intends to have the GAC to achieve. And there's no law that bounds the legislator from being audited, except that when you're the boss for someone, you can tell them what to do or what not to do. And GAC could even audit the legislator. If Amara refused, the committee that heads the GAC refused to make the audit report available, because the audit report is not a public document unless the government makes it available or public. And that's the legislator that...
It is a law?
That's how it is, yeah. That's how the government functions. The GAC, the Auditor General reports to the legislature, the committee that Amara Conan chair, and so they can publish the report, and nobody else by law that has a government. The GAC is in the executive but works. The reports to the legislature and the Senate. So Amara was speaking what he intends to achieve. And I know there's going to be a fight back. And that's what I said, the Liberian people who must have changed. It begins with us, the people. Our leaders are a reflection of who we are. We can't quote our leader names. We elected those leaders, and they represent our interests. So when we find our leaders corrupt, it tells us that we are corrupt. So if we want a change, we should put pressure on our leaders, and we should hail those leaders who are doing the rightful things, and then the others will follow suit. And that's how change will take effect in our country. So yeah, commendable.
Commendable.
Right.
It's considering the environment, from your own look of things. is this energy going to be sustained? Is this debate going to be sustained? Is it going to be embraced by the legislators, the lawmakers, the senators?
So first, if you want to change, you must have first a desire, and you must have an understanding what you want, and that's what Amara lay out today. And so this is his agenda. This is what he hopes to achieve, and that's what he telling us that he's going to exert his energy towards. And so how he gets it achieved, we're judging over time, and let's hope and let's join him in this advocacy. We the people let our voice to what he has said. Let's get on the radio daily and request this in our Vera podcast, whatever we do. Let us put the pressure on those who are called our leaders to do the rightful things. And that's how we're going to sustain it. But if we allow or undermine it and come back to criticize Amara Conan tomorrow, then we'll not be doing justice to our country, not ourselves. But if we join him in this debate and in this argument, yes, then we'll be doing justice to the discourse. Thank you.
What do you think Liberians, the ordinary Liberians, stand to benefit from this?
Well, corruption has proven to be our number one enemy. Our country is a wealthy country in terms of what we can generate as a people, in terms of revenue. But it have never worked for us over 170 years. That's due to corruption. But if we can tackle corruption, there will be surplus to go into our infrastructure, like the road behind me. We need $30 billion to have all our road infrastructure paved and pliable.
You mean the entire country, or only?
I said our entire road network, Wow. So with $30 billion, and we can generate that. But with corruption, we wouldn't be able, because that money will be going in private individual pockets. And what would they be doing? They would be doing things that George Weah did, for an example. Big condominiums around, give cars to anybody he wants to, whether it's for benefits or what. Fly private jet, go places, do leisure, drink Hennessy daily, and just lavish our money. And those things don't bring development. It doesn't improve anybody's life because it's not sustainable. So it would just be wasting our money. We got gold, we got diamond, we got timber, we got the ocean that have a lot of marine species. We have the forest. Now, all these things give us a lot of money. We got the iron ore and the likes. That should be generating money for us daily. Yet we are poor people begging around. We should not be begging around. We should be giving money to other people. But corruption is the number one reason. So if audit can bring check and prevent corruption, there's going to be a lot of money for all of the development we need. And the livelihood of our people will improve. So it's a commendable intention, and we should all join Amara Conan in this fight.
So yeah.
You want to come in? Yeah, let's do. Just take 1 minute on this. I'm gonna give Francis and
I just want to ask my brother because he's still very something just now, and I'm thinking about it. So the $30 billion you're talking about, including all the feeder roads, like community roads, or you're only talking about connecting
all our existing road network, but not new roads. And our existing road network is not adequate. But I'm just speaking about existing road because when you're doing a survey, you do survey on what's, you can count.
I remember years back, the late Minister Mabutu Vlad Yimpan said that he made that statement. Little did I know that the likes of Raymond, those guys were the ones in the background.
Let me give credit to
all those things.
Let me give credit.
Other guys, but
let me give credit to the youngest public works minister that the Minister of Public Works have had, Judy Moore. It was during Judy Moore time that study was done. So Maputo just came and saw the report and he could read through them. So it was Judy Moore who did it.
But this is interesting. Yes, Francis, you want to take a quick 1 minute on this?
Yeah, I mean, probably less than 1 minute, but we just need to make sure our people work for us. They need to remember why we send them to the legislature, to the Senate, to the House. They need to remember that. But nothing will ever change when there's no punch, when people just get what they want. and get no repercussion for doing wrong. Nothing will ever change. And once we start auditing those people, then they will know that, okay, I'm not immune to audit. Because
thank you.
And one of the things right now, I prefer
No, Maba, don't
be
interrupt.
public.
Please don't
But
interrupt. Okay, Francis, you're done, right? Yes. Cindy, take a quick 1 minute on this.
Look, the energy, like I said, the energy coming from Senator Cornyn is good. I embrace the audit. I think they should be audited. I want to also agree with Soiree in the comment section. Let us start to encourage independent audit, independent of government. Because one thing we notice in Liberia is that our audit agencies are easily influenced by our political leaders, our political players. Let us start to avoid external, let us bring in external auditors to start auditing our government. So that way we have clear understanding of what is happening in government. I also agree with the comment section. I think there was a comment up there, but that is talking about reducing the term. And I think somebody said it as well. Let's reduce 9 years, my brother, is not a small thing. You put someone there for 9 years. Just imagine you paying them, I don't know how much they get paid, but let's say they get $10,000 a month. Like 12 months times 9. Barely go to work. Most of them with no expertise to improve the country. So I hope that Mr. Cornyn, with his knowledge and the rest of them that are coming in, will maybe look in that direction. Let's reduce it from 9 to maybe 6 years for the senators. And like someone said, 3 years for the representatives. And let's try that. Let's try that.
Thanks a lot. I think this is very important. Let's take 5 calls on this. Let's take just 5 calls on this. Then we'll transition to our next talking point quickly. Just 5 calls on this one. And let me put the numbers up real quick. We're going to take 5 calls on this one. And then we'll make the quick transition here. 0555-101075. And the WhatsApp number is up there. Where do you stand on this? This whole idea of an audit for the legislature, the debate, has been presented by Senator Amara Cornyn. Do you see this as something that's going to be sustained? Does the legislature, do we have a kind of legislature now that will embrace this particular debate? Let's take our first call. Hello, you're live. Quickly, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, my dear brother in studio.
Yeah, let's hear you. Go ahead.
My name is S. Suluku Danya, and I'm calling you from former committee, district number 10 on the Oro.
Go ahead quickly.
Yes. Look, I'm in line with Amara Cornyn when it comes to the salary issues. And I'll be talking to the different people. One, the lower house. We need to have the lower house as a part-time job in this country. We are paying them with good amount of money.
Okay.
Can you imagine? You work only 2 days in a week, 8 days in a month. Look, the remaining 4 days, you can go on your farm.
Okay.
So we'll be coming up with that referendum. Of course, the lower house needs to be a part-time job.
Thank you. Let's take another person here real quick. Hello. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah, please go ahead, sir. You're live. Quickly, let's hear you.
All right, my name is Gon Cotton Foley. I'm calling from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
Okay, go ahead.
I think an audit must be necessary. It's very, very important. I think until Liberia can have a decentralization, where each one of the counties, they can give percentage of the money that's coming to Monrovia that people are wasting. Every money that somebody make in the county, their revenue, the percentage of that money can go to that county government. That country will never develop. I think this is very, very important for the lawmakers to think about that. And what Mr. Cornyn said about the auditing, I think it's a perfect idea. Why should somebody be afraid of an audit if you didn't do anything?
Okay. Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
a whole lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot
All right,
for your
that's it.
contribution. Let's take another call here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you joining us from? Hello.
Hey, Nelson, how you doing, my brother?
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on the show. Let's hear you. What's your take on this issue?
Right. First of all, let me with audit. It's obvious that we have the audit. So, but I wanted to speak briefly to the salary issue because I know we've been talking about the salary thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the question I asked myself all the time is, what is the justification of someone in Liberia, let alone in the house, making $15,000? That's nonsense. And I hear all this talk, we got to help the people. They beg us. Well, you are not government. Your purpose the goal should be to support and advocate for social programs. Create the programs that will empower the people of Liberia, not to be giving them handouts that they're begging you. You shouldn't do that.
Thank you.
Instead of you say they're begging you, go to the house, advocate, because you got three branches. When the president put the budget together, when it comes down to you should go through the budget lines and make sure there are important programs within those areas in Liberia, across Liberia, are supporting the hospitals and those things. And make sure that you are accurate and don't only fight for your salaries. You are civil servants. You want to make a lot of big money? Go to the private sector. Private sector and move from the house.
Let's hold you there, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
so,
sir.
So my suggestion is that we pay them $5,000 per month.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello. Go ahead. You're live.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead quickly.
Can you get me?
You're live, sir.
Okay, hello. My name is Simeon Walsh from Finland.
Okay.
I think the situation in Liberia is a very serious situation that all Liberians need to come together to solve this problem. What I think of Liberia now is that we need a kind of referendum. We do not need 73 representatives and 30 senators.
Okay, so but let's go back. Let's go back to this audit thing. Where do you stand on it? Is it okay, we lost that person, but we lost that person. Let me squeeze in the last two calls and then we wrap up for this one. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
This is Emmanuel Walker calling from Bomi County Bar.
Okay, from Bomi County. Go ahead.
Yes, let me tell you one thing, my brother. Has a difficult debate with who water. The reasons are, you see, Liberian have taken another trend, in recent times, you saw the election that just passed is a lesson for everybody. And the idea about people now are impinging legislature. I promise you, this coming 65th legislature, there's a lot of surprise in Liberia. And I'm on the convinced that what Mr. Maracone said will come to pass.
You think the legislature is going to agree to have that body audited? You think so?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then we squeeze in the last call here. Hello, you're live.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I support the audit, and I also support the deduction of the salary. My brother, most of these guys that represent counties, from counties like Nimba, Lelofa, they live right in Mobile. And they do all of the activity in Mobile. Some of them don't even go to that county only once in a while. So I want to suggest to the legislature that those who represent that county, whether representative or lawmakers, should reside within that county. Because the issue you find that other countries are not developed. Everything just focused on Monrovia. How can you represent someone in Lofa County and you are living in Monserrato? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So we're gonna hold it at that. Of course, we've heard from the folks with respect to this particular talking point, and yes, Cindy, I see your hand up, or
The
is it
caller that
just
the
your
caller,
position?
yeah, the caller that was not able to complete his statement. He said something, and I always been thinking about that. Why are we having 2 senators per county? Reduce it to 1. Resize our district, make them bigger. Reduce the size of lawmaker. Let's reduce the size of lawmaker. Because I mean, do we need 2 senators really for a county to debate the issues? That's something we must think about. Let's reduce the size of our legislature.
No, but again, you want to make sure that you're not doing it outside of the confines of the law. All right. So take for example, how do you call it? Census. Census was conducted recently, and right at the conclusion of the entire exercise, the next debate was a constitutional issue. Of course, the provision of the Constitution that talks about immediately after the conduct of a census, there should be a redemarcation and all of those different processes. The legislature should either set a new threshold and all of that. As it stands, the threshold stands at 25,000 or so, right? So, following the conduct of the census, based on what the numbers are, is either the legislature sets a new threshold, or okay, so maybe we say instead of 25,000, a district now, to have a district, what constitutes a district should be maybe 50,000 or 75,000. That is something that should be agreed by the legislature. And in that case where it is agreed that the legislature is setting a new threshold, then there will have to be redemarcation. They should resize the district. Okay, since it was 25,000, now we're carrying it to how do you call it? 50,000 per district. Then from this point to this point is district 1. From that point to that point is district 2. Or if they're going by the same threshold, then they should create additional districts. All right. And so that's why you saw right after the conduct of the census, there was serious debate about that as to whether the legislature, whether the 54th could use the census result to be able to carry on that constitutional exercise. But again, they didn't do it. They breached the Constitution because the census was conducted lately. It was done very late, and due to the limited time, they could not carry on that whole redemarcation, new threshold, and everything. You know, so it's a very good debate that he brought up. But again,
Nelson,
the best time to have done that was at the end of the just ended.
Nelson, our problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, our problem as a country is that we have for many years followed a system that is not made for us. The Constitution you're talking about it's a direct copy of the United States Constitution. It doesn't work for you. Our system that we're using for governance is a direct copy. We copy it from a very large, well-funded, well-working system, and we want to use it for us. Check around your neighbors in other African countries. They are revisiting their laws to ensure that it works for them, for their individual countries. Liberia, this is a big debate. I don't think it can be talked about tonight. But we need to sit down as a country and rethink our constitution. This thing behind me here we call flag, photocopy. Your pledge of allegiance, photocopy. Your constitution, photocopy.
How can you be calling our flag thing, man? No, Sandy, we're not going to agree with you. You're right on the Francis.
We need to have our own identity.
The flag is facing downward and you're calling it thing.
Photocopy, my brother. We need to have our own identity. We need to visit our constitution. Is it working for us? Do we need to copy the US system? I understand it's population based. Representative is population based. That's the same thing in the US. Do we really need that? Are we spending a lot more money than we are actually making? Francis was making that argument. You are spending more money than you are making. You pay your representative more than the country you are backing from. So we need to resize our government.
That's a debate. That's an argument for another.
But fairness to the argument, Nelson. Fairness to the argument, he said we need a referendum. That's what he said. So, the referendum will answer all the questions that you raised, all the threshold, because it will undo all those laws, and there will be new laws that will set new thresholds.
That's the only thing that can bring Liberia back to where it's supposed to be.
And Nelson, I also want to speak to one of the callers who said we need to send our very representatives and senators to where they're from, and that's how we're going to get developed. Is Monrovia
to
developed?
live there?
Yeah,
to live there.
And he used a reference. That's how those places going to get developed. Is Monrovia developed? If anyone thinks Monrovia is developed,
but let me say this. No. I'm coming. Let me just come in with that. Let me just come in with that. Sorry. Let me just come in with that. With all fairness to the discourse, right? Monrovia is fast developing, and it depends on what the context in which you're speaking. All right, your own meaning of developing at whatever time. But I must say that with all fairness, Monrovia is expanding. All right, Monrovia today has left just the Capitol building and all of those places. It has extended as far as from the stretch of the RRA. Monrovia or Montserrat County has connected with Margibi County and moving inward.
Expansion and development are two different things, my brother.
No, and that's why I say it depends. It depends how you take it. It depends what your own interpretation. So it's sending Raymond may come in with the whole idea of development, and someone may say, "Oh yeah, the place is expanding. There are new structures being built."
So Nelson, we're talking about the actual
that the places are not laid out. For example, the zoning that you're taking here consistently.
We're talking about the actual meaning of the words. We're not, using it in a new context. The actual meaning of the words. Liberia, Monrovia isn't developed. We are underdeveloped. Our country is called least developed country. So if anyone thinks least developed is acceptable, is adequate, that's mediocre, and no one should be using Monrovia as a benchmark for development. That's just a joke.
Thank you, sir.
Can I come in?
I just think one the caller was referencing.
Let's take Francis, and then we'll take you.
I think what the caller was referencing when he spoke about let them live in a county and will bring development. I think it's bringing them close to that constituent, and then the people can actually hold them accountable there. The people can sit there and ask them every single day. Our country is not developed. Technology is terrible. Everything's terrible. So when these guys are sitting in Montserrat, let's say 9 or 10 months out of the year and going back home for 2 weeks, the constituents cannot really talk to them. And most of our people are not educated. You see? So I think the guy was trying to say that if they are here, we can actually tell them every day, this is what we want. Go to Monrovia and come back with this. You go, you come back, what did you bring? Like when guys with parents to go out to work, when they come back, their kids watching to see if they brought some candies or cookies and stuff. But the district, what did you bring? What bill did you put on the floor that would expand our road, that would bring agriculture and farming to us?
Thank you, Francis.
Every day.
Let's hold you there, Francis. Thank you. Mobile, you want to come in very quick, and then Prince, you're coming. You're coming.
Yeah,
Prince,
I just want to make a point, right? We're talking about the whole salary issue. I just did 1 or 2 research. The world 4 largest economic country, which is Germany, the people only make how much? $10,000 United States dollars per month. But they are lawmaker, and their citizens live.
You said the word what?
The world 4th bigger economic country is Germany. The world 4th bigger economic country.
The world's 4th biggest economy is Germany. You
it's
said.
Germany, right?
Okay.
The lawmaker made 10,000. The lawmaker, they made 10,000. And the people who live there, right, who work, they make 4,000. I mean, let's say the citizen, they live per month, $4,200 and some dollars. In your country, you pay your lawmaker 15,000, and your citizen.
No. But let's get that right. Lawmakers are not being paid 15,000 in Liberia.
But according to World Bank, that's what World Bank said. On the World Bank website, What Ben say? Your lawmaker.
It depends the period. The
Even when it
time
depends,
at which that
there's no way you can
captured and
defend.
all that.
There's
No,
no way you
I'm
can.
not defending. I'm just trying to provide information to that.
But
I'm not
on
defending.
the World Bank website, right? They just give a breakdown. Then in your country, 2013, right? 2013, the citizen per month, I mean the whole year, right? They were living on $650 a year, the whole year. When you divide it, it gives you I think $54 per month. $54 per month. That's why that's the money your citizens were living with, and then you pay. You know where I'm coming from? I'm coming from the direction that the lawmakers are getting more pay than the citizen who's supposed to live a better life, and the lawmakers getting more money than them.
You're right.
You understand?
You're right.
So in order
And
to
I also see a
guess
portion.
what? And guess what? And the way they clarify Liberia on the identical website, they say one of the poorest country paying their lawmaker.
And Maba is important. Yeah, it's important that we always consider the period, the time when that particular.
No, but listen, let me give you the time. 2013 down from 2013 to 2017, the whole year, Liberia was living. Yes. Liberia was living on $650. From 2018 to now, Liberia is living on $500. They're living on $500 and I think it's some more dollars per year, the whole year, that the money they're living by. So it decreased. On Georgia, it decreased. The people go back to poverty. On Eddie, it was a little bit higher. When Joshua took power, he bring it down. And then the lawmaker money go up. So what been telling us that how will you be up one of the poorest country in the world and you pay a lawmaker almost $15,000 and people with the biggest economics in the world, they got money, the 4 biggest economics in the world, they pay that country how much? They pay a lawmaker less than $10,000, right? So it made no sense. And when you look at look at the average, how many people the lawmaker in Poland made $4,000. In Poland, they made $4,000, and our citizens live on $1,500 per month. It's not yet per month. So it's here. And you say you're the poorest country, then look at the money you pay your people. Look at the money Poland paying that lawmaker $4,000. They get paid $4,000. So thank you. You know, like the corruption, man. You know, we gotta come here. We gotta set a time. We come here. We discuss on salary issue. We just discuss on salary issue and make comparison with other countries.
We're gonna do that. Prince, you want to conclude quickly so we try to.
Yeah. Now, first thing I want to ask you, the stance of the high in Liberia, right? Was it concluded? Did they come up with a specific figure? How many human beings we got in that country?
We have a little over 5 million human beings in the country.
So I mean, we don't know the specific amount.
No, the specific amount is there. I can't. Okay, I can't give it to you offhand. I'll have to hear. But we have a population of about 5 million.
Tell you that the benchmark that between 3 to 4 months to have a stanza in Liberia. In Liberia, it was too short. That's number one. We spoke about it here before. And Ellis again came up on the spoon talk again and talk about it. So that actually the thing that is that Nelson, until I will always say the Liberians start to say we we sign it here to tell you lawmaker come back home. We not want you no more. That the only way the minds of the people will change and the dynasty of the people, how they're supposed to live, will change. I don't care you put John Bryan out here, so long the mind of the people up there in the Senate, the representative, is not developed for the people. We'll just be talking, keep talking, we'll keep talking. I'll be real with you, Nelson.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Prince.
Nelson, let me just inject, right?
For your contribution. Yeah, but Remo, we got to make a transition now.
No, I just wanted to clarify the information more I give. The German parliament makes 10.59 euro monthly. So you convert it, it's a little below dollar because the rate is 9.11. So it's a little around
No, it's a
9,000.
little above. It's a little above, not below. It's a little above because the euro is a little bit above the dollar.
No, the dollar is above the euro.
No,
The euro
no,
is above the dollar, Raymond.
The euro is above
I just checked it up. That $1 is 9 point. Yeah, $1 is 9 point something.
All depends the rate.
I mean, I was getting the UK about one.
You know the thing can fluctuate going.
I say I just checked the team, my man.
We are market again.
$10.
Okay. That perfect key math there. We handle it. Remember,
$10
disappearing.
9.11 euro. $10 US is 9.11 euro.
Okay, but then I think maybe the rate has fluctuated a bit or whatever. But what I've
no, but then the average, what you guys saying, the average is that the euro is always above the dollar.
A little bit above the dollar. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I know
on the average.
Yeah.
But Raymond, let me give you a quick advice, a very quick advice for you. That green screen you got there, anytime you put in the green screen, don't wear green shirt. You put green shirt or whatever that color stuff, you will be disappearing. That's what's happening.
They make it be disappearing.
Try showing your gadget disappearing. That's very
to disappearing at is magical to disappear.
Okay, so
but
guys, let's do
well
this.
taken.
Thank you. You pay a consultancy fee, but
after that fee, then we'll pay you.
But on a serious note, I want us to have this conversation, guys, and we're about to leave here. But in our country, there's something happening. This trend has been this way for pretty close to a decade now, or maybe a little over a decade. When you speak to the average young Liberian, okay, back then, it was about who do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a this. I want to be that. But today, most young Liberians, even the ones that are in universities, you ask them, what do you want to be or where do you want to work? They want to work in government. The man wants to be a politician. The man wants to be a representative. He wants to be a senator. Please don't interrupt me, Mama. The man wants to be a representative. He wants to be a senator. He wants to be some lawmaker or affiliated with some political party or maybe part of a battle cry, singing the Munya Munya and Zekwe Zekwe, the people who can cheer the squad before the leader speak. Everybody is a mentor, a father, our leader, and you want to be in that setting.
Political godfather.
What's responsible for this? Why do you think a country like Liberia that has over 60% of a population as a very youthful population, very energetic, even in the ghettos? Now, someone was talking about the most of the young people on drugs, but even in the ghettos, the young people, if you ask them, what do you want to? No, if you ask someone, do you want to be an agriculturalist or a politician? The male tell you, say, I want to go be a politician. If you ask him why, he has his own reason. Guys, what's responsible for this? From your own reading of things, I know we're not doing any official statistics here or whatever, but from your own look of things, why do you think a lot of Liberians want to get into politics? To the point where the man will do geology, for example. The man is a geologist, but tries to find his way into politics, try to talk the politics, and it will mean that person will bad mouth someone or say the worst thing, or just get involved into something because he wants to get involved with the politics. What's the driving force behind this? Why do you think a lot of young Liberians want to be politicians today? Let's start with you, Sandy.
Look, Nelson, this thing is very.
Sandy,
are you hearing me?
You good?
It's an easy answer, Nelson. The thing is, the major thing is that we do not promote private sector in Liberia. and this is not just a Liberia thing. I must also say that this is a trend in Africa and especially in developing countries. We do not promote private sector. So let's limit this to Liberia, for instance. Liberia, very sadly, the government is the major payer in the country, the major employer in the country. It should have been the opposite. The private sector should be the major employer in your country, the major revenue stream in your country. The major job creation in your country should be in the private sector. So when your private sector is dead, your government becomes so powerful to the extent that everyone gravitates towards your political leaders or those in government. They become dependent on government. Instead of those in government becoming your employee and you holding them accountable, you become their worshiper. Because you don't have job in the private sector, you cannot be employed, Nelson. What do you do, Mr. Sandy?
Cindy, is this happening just because there's no job in the private sector, or are the young people just attracted to the politics? Do they just want to become a politician, or is it that way because there's no job? Is it because of passion or because of no job?
You become more. You see, when you start to see a heavy population of a country get so passionate about certain things, or start to grab, maybe not use passion, start to gravitate towards certain things, it's only one thing. That's where the eating is. In this case, in government, that's where the money is. We are seeing people going into government and becoming rich overnight. We are seeing people getting elected into the House and becoming rich overnight, into the Senate and becoming rich overnight. And we are not holding those people accountable. We know that they are stealing from country. We are not holding them accountable. So people then think, well, this is the easiest way for me to get rich. This is the easiest way for me to build a mansion. This man, he don't want me to talk about politics. You know,
yeah, but if you're talking about
that's it, Nelson. I think what the focus needs to be directed on the private sector. We need to grow our private sector. Nelson is very sad. American said something today. He have a farm, but he cannot find employees.
Yes. Yep.
Nelson, I have a palm farm in Grand Gide. I'm telling you, I have to go to Nima to get people to work for me in Grand Gide. That's I can't find people in Grand Gide to work for me. The money is there, is available to pay people. They can't work. Our people have become so complacent. That's another thing. They have become so lazy. So the thing, government is the easy route. A man, an educated man like Sandy, instead of focusing on going to work, using his skills, will rather get into the house where maybe he goes to work twice a week and make a lot of money and steal from his district, from his people. It's an easy way for Sandy to get rich. So you find a lot of Sandys, instead of studying the healthcare, studying engineering, and studying other things, want to get into government to make easy money. We need to change that. Another thing, Nelson, we need to start to educate our people in areas that will benefit them. A lot of our schools in Liberia, they teach accounting, business management, social, political science. They are not teaching engineering, the healthcare sciences, technologies that will improve, that will enable our people to get jobs even outside of Liberia. Now, see, I work for a healthcare company. Recently, I was in Rwanda. We opened a branch there. Do you know who we are using to work there? Rwandese. To process medical claims for a company outside of the United States. I've been working for this organization for years. I've advocated for Liberia. The first thing they will always tell me, you don't have the environment for us to do the work there. We can't find a workforce. We need to start training our people, and we need to make our environment conducive enough so that organizations like mine can feel comfortable and go there and employ our people. They can send in Liberia and make money and make US dollars.
You know, this is very interesting. This is very important because take, for example, in 2017, I'm not going to start with 2016, 2023. In 2017, in the 2017 election, in District 4, Montserrat County, for example, District number 4, Montserrat County, one district, just a single district, had 28 representative candidates.
Wow.
Now it's not inclusive. It was not inclusive. No, Prince, we're going to come to you, but it was not inclusive of the people who expressed interest but did not get successful, meeting all of the criteria laid down by the National Elections Commission. No, it was not inclusive of those people. Just the people who met the criteria. 28 persons contesting for just a single seat in one district. That was in 2017. Fast forward to 2023. I'm going to leave the number up to you. Now, let's hear from you, Francis.
As a district, in my district, there were 42. So friends. cousin, uncle, nephew, all the.
There you go.
Is that one?
42 persons in just a single district. That rural part of the country we're talking about, not in Moravia. Rural part of the country. A part of the country that does not have up to 1 million population. Okay, no, even 500,000 population. Okay, so let's divide that by 3. 250,000 people, they're not living there. For example, but 42 persons want to become representative for one district. So let's hear from you, Francis. Why do you think a lot of Liberians, young Liberians, very energetic Liberians, are so much interested into the politics of the day? They want to become politicians. They don't want to become, agriculturalists or health workers. No, they want to be politicians. Some of them acquire the skills. They go to school, acquire the knowledge, they have the degrees, but they still want to become politicians, though it's not politically related.
Yeah, the answer boils down to $32.4 million. And that number came from $32.4 million.
And so what?
That's what our 30 senators, if they just receive $10,000 a month for 12 months, for 9 years, that's $32.4 million, $32,400,000. That's the amount that they receive. So imagine in Liberia, the cost of living is not that high. If you look at it, for somebody to make $10,000 or excess of $5,000 a month, that is ridiculous. Even if you send your kid to a $7,000 a year school, if you have 2 kids, $10,000 a month, that is way too much. You see? So people say, hey, I'm going to go to government. Liberia's LFME. And Liberia, and you see, the problem stems from us too. Because May and Cindy goes into government the same time, the same year, the same time, came with the same net worth of 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we leave office the same day, and I leave rich, and Cindy come out average, the Liberian people will say, that first about they work for himself. Look how the boy go to government, he may pay money. Look how stupid Cindy want. He work for government all the year, he not do nothing for himself. But what people don't understand is, Francis was stealing the money that was intended for them and enriching himself.
Again, Francis, I might not agree with you 100% on that, because you don't have to steal to do well for yourself. Do you really have to steal to do well for yourself?
No, but you're missing the point here.
Okay.
You don't have to steal to do well for yourself. But the fact that everything we've been discussing on the platform for month in, month out, lack of accountability, Francis knows the quickest way of me getting rich, setting my family, my future generation up, so they don't have to struggle, is to go to government. Because when I get to government and I steal all the money that comes through my department and enrich myself, Nelson then will say first that they work for himself. But when Sandy used the money and built the roads, it put medication in the schools, I mean, in the hospital and books in the schools, and he come out with just his salary. The people will call Sandy stupid. He said, all the year he worked for government. So that's how people know. People say, let's go to government and get rich and build generational wealth. Because private sector is not coming anyway. So that's the only thing. I mean, I'm not even going to take long on this stuff. That's the only thing. That's why I need to reduce the senator's term. They need to make government so unattractive that the only people who go there to government to work will be wealthy people and people that know that I am a civil servant. I'm going to serve the people. Those are the only people that will be attracted to government job. But until they do that, forget it. Only Babati people will be coming to government because they want to get rich.
Babati. What Babati? What's the definition of Babati?
Man, I don't know. I have a people can say
You know Babati talking. How you spell Babati? That's very interesting. But let's hear from you, Prince.
I
Babati.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
No. Our friends are saying Babati, for example, Akawa's Bay. He was in one bed, one room in Banave. He came from there, hustling, eating curry. Like Babati, man.
Somebody in the comment section here, please spell out Babati for us.
We'll spend another day.
Princess has a way of taking our minds back, Babati. Go ahead.
Let's
hear you.
You see, the same thing, almost the thing that is this, right? Nothing. People go into government just wishing themselves. Friendly, just gave you a clear analysis just now about he and Sandy. Sandy took that money to invest it in the village where he comes from on the constituent. They put not healing. They put our healing in that time. Maybe it'll be like 10%. The rest of them, Sandy will be looking for hospital there. When you come back in a place to relax, look at that one. You see your representative for Naya. Look, Senator Naya. Look at him. You see you're facing one road and one bridge. Look at him. The mentality of our people is just that government is where you go to enrich yourself. Period. That's it. So every young man in Liberia, you don't want to hear them say they want to be teacher? No. The teacher college is free. They don't want to go there. They don't want to impart nothing into somebody else. But they want to go to government. Look at you just saying. Our district, you talking about 28 persons that were qualified.
2017.
28. Where you going at? To go for to do what? To do what?
Go and make law to represent that country.
Well, law. The $10,000, the 10,000 gallon fuel, like you get gas station, like the law you want there. Please, Nelson. Nothing until again we had a referendum. Even for the presidency, you got 27 political parties. 27. In small country, than Liberia. 27.
You said what? 27 political parties where? They just in the election?
For the 49, right?
29.
29.
No, it was a little over 40 political parties.
Yeah, about 40.
But then we have been there.
So that's what I'm saying is that
coalitions and all different things.
Until we go back for the referendum to change laws that our forefathers then made and put into act that harbor the country today, until we go back there, we can't go nowhere, nothing. We can't go nowhere.
Thank you.
2017, when I came over there to discuss just rights deal for the Liberian government to buy rights from this country on the lower scale for the Liberian people. What is that person that he said? So what commission I got on it?
No. You mean Professor Wilson Tapper asked you for his commission when you brought investors into the country?
Ministry, I met the Commerce Ministry, right? Right?
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? When I had a director on the line from the states, they must say, well, what kind of commission he talking about? The government not even invested because my thing here was that at least the people will come, I Arkansas will come, will bring companies to make people to know to grow rest within the twinkling of an eye.
And you mean Professor Wilson Tapper asked you for his commission before that investment? That's a huge one. That's anyway. That's a Bagbati discussion.
Don't Alex, you don't know what goes on in our country.
We're getting to it another day.
You don't know what goes on in our country. If we don't give hand, if we don't give
your
a
internet
hand,
has an issue. Your internet has an issue.
No. When you
Nelson, there must be a winner.
Prince, your internet has an issue.
There must be a winner of the Bagbati spelling in the comment section.
Internet, I got no problem, my man. Wait, one person,
the Bagbati keeps coming.
Yeah, look in the session. There's a
the internet has a problem. Let's Hi, Shirley. Shirley, thanks for joining us. I know you guys are celebrating today, Abby's birthday, but we're gonna end up with that. But let's hear from you, Moba. Moba, why do you think a lot of young people in Liberia want to go into government? A lot of young people in Liberia want to become politicians. They want to become lawmakers. They want to become representatives, senators, ministers, directors. You know, they want to be in government. Why?
And Nelson, before I get to that, right, let me explain that short story about myself. 2000.
I hope your story is short.
No, it's very short. 2003, right? Me and my cousin, all while our auntie were living with our auntie. We used to ride a bus, so now from New Jersey Junction to Jamaica Road. We pay $5.10. But I was sitting in the cardboard hand. The cardboard get a lot of money in your hand. Every time we ride the bus, the cardboard in the bus. So one time was
the fuck out you pack together, plenty.
Now, me, my auntie, my cousin were lecturing. And then they were asking everybody, what you want to be? You know, I tell my auntie, I said, I want to become a cardboard in the future. They don't even do that. I become, you know, my mom went to, I give you a scenario, right? You know, my mom went to, because at that time, I was seeing the cardboard and getting a lot of money. And you know, all of them you see people come out to get up money, getting a lot of money. So based on that, my perspective was like, when I began cardboard, I'll be making that same money. So it just draw the attention to what we discussing, right? You see, a lot of the people today who all of them will go, you know, in the House or representative, senator, because they hear in that. Look at what few years back, who knew Koji? Who knew Koji? Who knew all the men? Let me names, right? All we need to know about them, their protests make big mouth. But today, because the working government there for 6 years. Some of them that mansion, when you go in there, you got to press button, the door open. You got to lay your finger, they open. They get CC camera all around. You know why? Because our generation now looking at all these people the people working government, before they enter government, they were nothing. They were not having nothing. But today, they rich. So why about me that if I go to school, I want to be a politician? So based on that, everybody, you know, directing to be a politician. Everybody focusing, they want to be a politician. Everybody. Because they realize that that's where the money is. The free money. People go there, they sell concession that is not in the interest of the Liberian people, but because they're getting caught, they take it. And all the money, well, the Mandingo man and the Muslim people call kafu, like what you eating. But end of the day, they walk away free. Nobody ordered them. Nobody asked them questions. Because you know what? They get it lost in their hand. They can interpret any type of way you want to. So you see what? So based on that, you realize that a lot of people, a lot of Liberians or young Liberians want to become a lawmaker. When you ask them, they don't tell you, I want to be a doctor. Like my daughter, when she came recently, I asked her, she said, Daddy, I want to be a doctor. I said, thank God you're not in Liberia. In my mind, I said, thank God. Saying, yeah, you'll be a doctor because you pursue your career. You understand? But if you're in Liberia, if you say you want to be a doctor, where you get all the facilities from? So you see everybody diverting to be a lawmaker. You got anybody who tells they don't be a lawmaker? Ain't you? Just give my example. Because at that time, my mom only on what I would get. I said I want to be a cowboy. And you understand? So based on that, our people, we need a workshop that we can come together. Yeah, there's like a cowboy issue. I'm serious about it. So that's what happened all the time.
Imagine more about the cowboy. Mr. Cabo.
Yeah,
you know, this is very important.
To be frank,
and it's a very interesting one.
But
let's hear from Raymond finally.
Yeah, let me conclude by saying that you find out our young people, you know, They're looking at the list of Jefferson Coach in there. The other boys will be a beamer to UR campus and saying you were assisting or agricultural minister. We're not seeing plenty one rest in the entire for the last 6 years. All of the men get free money. So everybody, you know, so that's the problem we get in that room. Raymond, I give it to you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Raymond, let's hear you.
It was a nice Cabo story. But Nelson, I've been into youth empowerment, youth awareness, and all of that. And it's a shame for me that the young people in Liberia are belly driven. And all they care about is an easy way out of life, not making the right efforts. And that's why corruption has been elevated among our generation more than the generation ahead of us. So every young man wants to come into government so he gets overnight wealth. And what they do with it, nothing much but to just do the things that bring no value. You see a lot of young people who got a job stopping by all the drinking spot and acting like the big boys, being very loud, their conversation not even meaningful. But it's a shame, and that's why they are attracted into government. And because the foundation has been broken, so nothing can be built on it. So everybody just want to go on the broken foundation and keep doing broken things. That is a shame. Our country is not going to develop with the kind of generation. And that's why I don't support the generation change argument, because the young people have proven to do nothing better.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. I think it's been a great one.
Wait, Raymond,
let's take few calls from our folks. What?
This is the shortest.
Raymond is done. Raymond, you done, right?
Raymond, I got nothing to do, but I finished hitting the point.
Yeah.
I just said it as it is. I need to add more.
For the first time. For the very first time.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
you want to talk more, so
everybody can improve. Anyway, everybody can improve.
Yeah. Sandy, you shocked, right? You're surprised like me.
So
I mean,
the cover story bring you on.
No, I saw Amy, so I had to keep quiet.
Okay, but Amy, let's hear you now. Since you just joined the discussion, just make your quick input. So we'll go to the lines and take a few calls, and then we'll wrap up. I mean, again, let me pose a question to you. Why are so many young people in Liberia interested in the government job? They want to become representatives, senators, minister, some director. You know, it's about the politics. You know, it's about just being in there. Why is it so? Why do you think? Wow, there's a feedback. Can we all mute?
Yeah, that mute me.
Okay.
My big Zoom.
Okay.
I zoom it too much.
So can I go now?
Go ahead, Emmy.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Nelson, why do you think to get rich the Bawati way?
Bawati riches?
Because my brother friend says yes. To get rich the Bawati way. I think everyone here already said it. I mean, there's no need for me to repeat myself. That's exactly like the reasons people we need, like Cindy said, the private sector has to work. We have to encourage that. We have to make the environment in the country for that, for people to want to come in and invest, for our young people to know that there's more out there than just working in government, and you can even do better working in the private sector and doing your own, or even doing a little business. Like I seen a Facebook video of a girl. She said that a lot of time people think that doing business, like mostly our girls, they think that is something embarrassing and shameful or whatever, and they prefer, I guess, allowing men to use them and walk around calling themselves Jews and stuff like that. Than having their own little, something that they can depend on. And this girl was selling, I don't know what it was, peanuts for $1 bowl. She went to
Oh, is
like
it Emmy?
10, 12. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. So
You're
from
coming
selling
in.
like one, from selling one, she went to like 10, 12. And she was telling them like, after that, I can go and take my shower and wear my beat you clothes, and I'll still be beat you. You know, the mentality of our people is messed up. I don't know if I should blame it on the war or education or whatever. And it we just we just have to do all the reform that we're talking about the country. Also, we need to talk about human reform too. The reform their mind to have a different perspective of how about life and than what they're already used to and they know. It's very.
Okay.
I think that's the human development is a big thing, big deal in Liberia. We have to do all of that to make our people to understand that what they already think they know, that they think is better. There's better, bigger thing out there, or that they can do with their life than just what they've been seeing all their lives.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a whole lot. I mean, let's go to the lines and take just very few calls, and then we'll come back to wrap up. 0555-101075. And the WhatsApp number I'm gonna pin right on the screen here as we take like 5 calls and then we wrap up. Hello, you're live.
Monrovia or Monrovia, Liberia.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the reason that you see more young guys going for the representative position in Liberia, they have the constitutional limitation. The constitution didn't come up with a criteria that you see a setup that can able to guide and attach value to a representative.
Okay.
Once you have 25, you are above or 25.
Is the issue for
nursing free. So yeah, we can be coming in with 1 or 2 of the nursing and come back. Nursing in Miami internet freezing right now.
So our friend Dr. Kelvin, Ishmael Kelvin, is in the comment section, and I think he disagrees with some of the things we are saying here.
Yeah, because he said all the topic based on politics all the time. But
I just want to speak to the
yeah,
doctor.
go ahead.
Doctor, I'm not arguing that educated people should not serve. I don't think that's the argument we are putting forth here tonight.
Nope.
What we are discussing here tonight are people with no knowledge of governance, have no ideas on building a country or developing a district, coming into politics to enrich themselves. I do not want to call names, but a lot of us will agree that there are several people coming into government currently in the House, in the Senate, or in other positions in government that have absolutely no ideas on governance or how to serve any of their responsibilities of their people. So those are the people we are referring to. The people are educated, they have the knowledge, they have the skills, they have the know-how that they want to serve in government. Definitely, we must all encourage that. Some of us that have acquired some skill set, we must encourage that. But for us to just find people, like the example I gave in my district, 42 people, a lot of them, a bunch of them have zero ideas, but they just want to come in to enrich themselves. Those are the people we are speaking against.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that clarity, because a lot of time, but Dr. Ishmael, I think always joining on the show here. But that was a good answer, because you found out a lot of the young people today who forcing themselves in politics. They want to become a representative, senator. Yeah, come here, friends say 1 minute. You see, okay. You see, half of them, the only thing they won't do, they won't go see enough. That's it. Because they saw what the past government did, more especially the young people they put into power. Go now, make your own survey, right? Go make your own survey. You realize that the amount that went into government way is not the amount somebody get today. They get over the past 6 years. Because their only thinking was to enrich themselves and from the, like my brother Francis talked about from the beginning. He said a lot of people go in government. If somebody moved in, like people say, oh, you spent all the year in government, well, you get nothing for yourself. It's true. But guess what? If you're making a policy, no, let me tell you, every country have a corruption people. There's no country is corruption free. I can say that for real. But Liberia is too much because there is no jobs in the country. Everybody focusing on government job. If you tell me, say, look at Liberia is very small. You get 5.7 million people. You carry two companies out. Let's say hire a Liberia. Let's say amount maybe around let's say 10 to 15,000 Liberians. In each county, Maserado is the biggest, right? You open about 4 or 5 companies in Maserado. You think you see people on the street? I say no. All
after world is smallest.
Yes. No, Maserado is the largest
in size, population.
Oh yeah, but the population, yeah. So you find out that a lot of people want to work instead of then going into government, because if I'm getting a pay from the company, a good pay and a benefit, and I know that, and let's say something tonight, right? Let the people go and revisit that salary something. Let it amend that whole salary something. If it were in the law that they should make it, they should get it one. No, let it go and amend it if in the law. But if not, let it revisit it and bring that salary down. Let it make the government uncomfortable for people to not work. So anybody that go and serve, more especially when we're discussing the representative, the senators, right? Let it make it uncomfortable that if I'm Boba Zoga want to work, I'm already be established. Let me get my money before I say I'm going to run for representative, so that end of the day, let me get maybe $400 US per month. Then all the heavy money I'm making, right? Yes. Look at Poland. Liberia region of Poland, no. I mean, when it comes to the resources, guess what? The representative, the lawmaker in Poland making $4,000 rather, $4,000 per month. That's the money they're making in Poland. In Liberia, if you bring your salary down, not 400%, I make you a mistake, but 4,000 or 3,500 per month, that's better. You take all that money, you invest it in companies, in other resources for Liberians to be able to work and earn for themselves. So that at the end of the day, everybody can be running to be a representative. Everybody can be running to be a senator. Everybody can be running to government position. You understand? So that's the reason why we are every night. It's not to say we're against lawmakers. No, we are not against lawmakers. The people making the law. But in making the law, they got to understand the country budget. They got to understand how much money coming in the country, how many people earning, how many citizens. Look at your citizens whole year, they living on $575. The money what I can take and then go in the supermarket and spend within in less than 1 hour. That's why your citizen living a whole year, but your lawmaker making $15,000 to $10,000 per month. So you see, that's wrong. That's the reason why we're here every day. We speak for the people. Not because I know you as a senator or representative. At the end of the day, I'm gonna come here and say and be biking you or saying that the people need that money. What the job you guys doing? How many concessions your son are in favor of the Liberian people? Y'all come and tell us. How many Liberians have been employed under the past regime? What was the senator, the representative, what was the deed they went to for the Liberian people to be able to sustain themselves? Let it come and tell us. You know why? They were not. Because half of the companies that were coming, they were requesting them for money. Like my brother, Prince Bay said, when you want to make the rest deed, what my commissioner, what my court? You think company will work on your country? No. Because the representative that on that concession, the representative got to get his court. The senator got to get his court. So that concession, so you can be able to talk for that concession. But if you even want to do it, you can do it to the extent that you will lick it until you reach the airboat. But that's why that's Liberia. So coming from all over, telling Liberian people that your lawmaker is the problem. Your problem for not capital bidding.
Anybody else got something to say?
Yeah, anybody will get something, you can come in. Your lawmaker is the
So
problem.
let me agree with that, Kelvin, again. I'm reading the comment section. I'm enjoying the comment section as well. I really like to follow the comment section. and I agree, and I said this on this platform before, Doctor. One of the ways we are going to improve government is to hire experienced professionals, people that will not be entirely dependent on the government salary. I listened to Eduardo too. I think he said something like that on the Spoon Talk, and I've been talking about this as well.
That's true.
If
Yeah,
I am
that-
to, if I should go into go ahead, Nelson.
Okay, so yes, we're back.
Roberto, what a free time.
You said Moba took all the free time?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I think we can just do our
I
think we can just do our closing now. Yeah, I think we can just do our closing. I was taking some calls on the radio. I was actually taking some calls on the radio when we had a little bit of technical issue here. So yes, Cindy, you can just start up with the closing as we try to wind down.
No, so I'm gonna let me just close quickly. Look, if I should get into government, I am a healthcare administrator. That's what I do for a living. I do consultancy for healthcare organizations. Will I let that go? I should not let that go. It's a consultancy work. I can do it from anywhere. I can still serve my country and still be able to do my professional work and not depend on government salary entirely to sponsor my lifestyle or to take care of my kids. So to ensure that I continue what I'm, the kind of lifestyle that I have or my plans and what I'm doing, I must not neglect my professional work. So if we can hire people with professional background into government spaces and make government jobs less favorable for people that do not have professional backing, that's one of the ways that we will minimize the level of corruption that we continue to see. And not just the corruption, but the lack of productivity that we continue to see in our government. We pay those people so much money and they do not produce for us. That's one of the things that frustrates me. You pay them so much money and they do not produce. It's frustrating. So yes, it's time that we encourage professionals to get into government. But here's the thing: those that are not educated, those that do not have the experience, those that do not know how to do the work, they often find themselves getting elected because they have a way around. They get to the people easily. They bribe the people. They give them back a rise. I'm not going to call names here, but we know a lot of them. They give them things, and then the people elect them. But if a man like me come from here and say, "Oh, I have studied all these years. I have all this professional background. I can do this for you. I can represent you." They say, "But man, wait, man. The men have been giving us rice, giving us zinc, giving us this. This is the man we're going to elect." That's the sad part of our politics in Liberia too. Let me end here and say, look, I saw few comments when I said this thing behind me, the flag. I respect the Liberian flag. I was making reference to the fact that it is time. I think it is time that we start to look back into how we want to redefine ourselves. This flag was copied out of the US. There's some reason behind it. A lot of you know. I'm not here to get into that. Our Pledge of Allegiance is a complete copy of the United States. Liberia need to have an identity. Liberia need to stand on her own. Liberia need to have an identity. Look among your regional countries, your neighboring countries. They have their own identities. Our constitution was developed based off of the United States Constitution. Few things were modified, but the majority of your constitution is a direct replication of the United States Constitution. We need to get back to the table and define our laws and let Liberia as a nation have our own identity. And I'm going to end here tonight. It was a wonderful show, wonderful interaction in the comment section as well. I want to thank all of you for being here always. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Fresh.
Yeah. Yes, our Liberian people, we can sit here and talk all we want to talk, but until we take accountability for our lack of attention to what's going on in the country, some of our people don't even want to know what's going on. They just go and vote. They hear the way my brother uncle say, I want to vote for the person, and if for the person, we'll vote for that person. But these lawmakers do not respect us. They do not respect us. That's why you got the likes of former Representative Akara Green that can run around with thugs on LU campus, terrorizing their district during campaign time and all these things, choking, rioting people's houses and stuff that they call themselves honorable. Because they do not respect the citizen that gives them the job. And the reason they don't respect the citizen, because the citizen don't want to know their rights. They don't want to know. But it's about time that people start holding that representative accountable. Even if it doesn't work, but flood the airway with criticism of your lawmakers. Go to their offices. Demand. This may be a crazy talk, but demand. Senator, we need you to reduce your term to 6 years. Representative, reduce it to 2 years. That may sound crazy. But we'll continue to push. We'll continue to push. We'll continue to push on term, reducing the term. We'll continue to push on accountability. People should be auditing our senator representative. We'll continue to push on things that sound like it's out of this world. We'll start to get somewhere little by little. They say we want to set goals. Set it so high that people will laugh at you. But even if you don't accomplish that goal and you hit half of that goal, you accomplish a lot. But if you set the bar so low, like we have done with our elected officials and appointed officials, we set the bar so low that they don't even have to lift their knee up high to cross the bar. That's why they don't respect us. They don't feel the weight of the people. So we need to reward them also by voting them out. Change them like you change their clothes every term. Somebody come and tell you this, and you see how they behave. Look at the representatives there. Look, when they're in session, like market ground. Don't get me wrong. I see other countries where the debate can get heated. But Liberia is just market ground. Bunch of nonsense they're talking. They had a speaker election. They went. What you talk for yesterday or today? But let me just wrap up. They had a speaker election. We should demand that some of these things. I know we don't have the power, but we should make them know that we want you to do open ballot. Or like Yaka said, let's stand behind our people that we support, so we can see who voted for who. But they don't do this thing. They go in secret. They do it. Then when the person that voted for the person their constituent doesn't want, they say, "Oh no, I voted for that person." But the people that send it to the house don't even know who they voted for, because they don't take that envelope and they vote against their own people. So just to wrap up with this, people are saying, "Oh, CDC is bad." CDC is not bad for nothing. The Liberian people voted CDC out. The Green representative, they voted for Fonadi Kofa and Thomas Farah. They were not the Liberian people. So they did their own thing in the house. So that our destiny around, let Baboga kind of office and do what the Liberian people want him to do, and CDC stand a chance in 2029. Thank you. Have a good night.
Raymond.
I agree with my brother Francis. We saw the likes of Yeke Koloba go to work and try to bully his seatmate who sat by him. That is not a place for people who now taking our job serious. It's not a place for bullies. And I think Yeke Koloba should come to his senses.
Everybody will care president.
Go you 25,000 one give me some. Go where? They play another tradition for you. They play a capital building.
Disgusting.
What is 25,000?
We also pray that as we take
That is enough to kick Yeke.
Everybody will get president. Don't see my head.
Go ahead, man.
What's wrong with you?
Go you to
And Nelson, why you keep playing this thing?
Go where? They play another tradition push here. They play a capital building here. What is the father saying?
In your pocket. In your pocket.
You know, they say, out of the abundance of the heart of man speaking. Even the likes of Yeke, it's all about money. They all talk money because they're all down there. I heard him once justify the 30,000 that he received and his salary now for the people is for his family. It's all greed, no matter which side. So we need to speak out to these issues, to call these people to book, put their feet to the fire. Until then, we shouldn't expect better. But I believe in that the fact that the Liberian people are getting up, there's an awakening taking place where people are getting conscious of what should be and what things are and what needs to change to get to where we need to go. So we got to start talking and put the pressure on those people who get elected to elected offices to do the rightful thing. Until we can put the pressure on them and keep doing it, we're not going to get the change. And so the change that we deserve is to call all those who are our leaders. Technically, our leaders are our servants. We all can be in the same position at the same time. So there are a few persons who get there on our behalf. We send them. We give them the authority. And when someone works on your behalf, they work for you. And they're not your bosses, rather, they're your servants. Until our leaders can see that and begin to do the rightful thing, we are in trouble. And what I saw Yeke do, that's not what an honorable man does. Not at the occasion he was. That job is serious. He's supposed to be thinking, focused, analyzing, and performing good things that will make our people life better, not bullying a friend. And we can't make the change like that. I don't even hear Yeke's strong argument. All I hear he do is insult. And Yeke should realize he's not a legislative material. He talks a lot. And if you think you mean good, Yeke, do good. And doing good is not to insult and be wearing on a t-shirt and be insulting people. Get out there, powerful arguments.
But you said the lawmaker is not a legislative material, but he was re-elected by the people. He was re-elected by the people. The overwhelmingly protest him.
I agree, and until we create the awareness with the rightful people who can make an impact, who can bring the issues up on the floor to debate and powerful laws that will improve the livelihood of our people, we are not getting anywhere. People come and cajole our people, pretend, do things just to get voted in, and when they get voted in, they take the money for they and their family. Yeke have said our time or our numbers. Have Yeke argued to reduce his salary so that hospitals and schools can be built on the oral? He's never done that. Until we get lawmakers who can do that, they're not doing the right for the people. Yeke will always arguing about his salaries. The 30,000 our lawmakers got, Yeke never spoke against it. He never rejected any. That's not going to make an impact to the common people, the poor people in the oral. They're not going to make a change to their lives. So until we can bring up these arguments and these lawmakers can see reason, by the pressure of the people to do the rightful thing, we are in trouble. And we should continue these arguments and call attention to these issues so that we can make an impact in our country.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, sir. Moba, is everyone done?
No, I'm talking you. As long as I'm finished, we can close.
But you've done your closing already, Moba. You spoke as soon as I left the stream. You spoke for
yeah, you took the whole time.
Everyone else
but
kept
listen,
quiet.
I want to be transparent, right? I said I want to talk.
No, but how were you transparent in the first place when you took up all the time?
No. I just thought, right? I get a flow to Cindy talk before I talk.
Wow. Okay, I mean, please do your closing.
Yeah, so I agree with Raymond. When I seen that video, I was kind of upset. Yes, people can say your girl was joking, but when a person tells you that stop, that I don't want to play around, whatever, you should know that he or she is not joking. So we shouldn't say that. And again, I'm gonna take it from another angle, right? You know, I heard a lot of lawmakers say that the people they always come in asking for this, and if you don't give it to them, they will never vote for you again. I heard a lot of people say that about even a couple of lawmakers that try to stand up for them. They call them mean. So what these people are doing, sometimes our people bring it on themselves too. If a person would try to do the right thing and try to something a law or be there advocating for you, and because he doesn't come out in the neighborhood and share money on you, you think he's mean and he's not doing his job, and you wonder when I will come and give you $5, $10, $20, and you think that's a good lawmaker. We are hurting ourselves as well. So as much as we can say the lawmakers are the problem, we ourselves, we are the problem because we're not demanding, we kind of like accepting the least of what.
But I mean, what exactly was wrong with what Representative Kolba did? He was more like just trying to share fun with his colleague.
What did you see the colleague? What the colleague was saying to him as well? If you try to share the fun with, especially where I live here in this country, when someone tell you stop and you don't, that's a lawsuit in Nelson. And if I
was he
girl,
intimidating? Was he in? Now a lot of you who watched the video, this is Representative Nathaniel Awe. This is the lawmaker who had the press conference when he mistakenly said they received 25, or they were promised 25,000, and then he came back to have another press conference to say that it was not 25,000, but it's rather 5,000. He came back to make the clarity. This is the lawmaker, and now Representative Yeka Kolba is engaging him. You took 25,000. Where is my money?
Everybody will get president. Don't see my head.
Go ahead, man. Go you 25,000 want to do so? Go ahead.
Why was
so
he
you see that, Nelson?
Why was
Exactly.
he
See, so does that up there looks good to you? When he told Representative Kolba to stop, if he had stopped, you think he was going to stand up and to do that? I don't think so. Even if Representative Kolba was joking and this person wasn't playing along, I think you should have left him alone. And so it looks on his part like he was bullying or intimidating, whatever the word that you want to use. But the guy got upset and got up. It did not look good. And it's on camera. So you can joke around, but like Raymond said, the occasion that it was at in that hall, I think there are certain limits that you have to have when you're doing stuff like that.
So
are you also interpreting? I'm coming, Raymond. Sorry. Are you also interpreting this action as Representative Yeka Kolba playing in session while serious matter is being discussed when he's supposed to be there representing the people of District 10, but he's there playing in session, discussing or attending to irrelevant issues? Because if you listen to the background, now I want you guys to watch a few seconds. There is a serious discussion going on in the background. Let's watch this video for a few seconds.
Everybody will get president. Don't see my head.
Go ahead, man. Go you 25,000 want to do so? Go ahead. They play another tradition pour you. They play a capital building.
You heard in the background. There's a discussion.
Exactly. There's a serious discussion.
The Ministry of Finance and all of that, but Representative Yeka Kolba is playing.
He's playing. These are some of the things that we're talking about. That the lawmakers are in session and they're playing around. Some people texting, some people answering their phones while their colleagues are on the floor talking. So that's one example. Yeah.
So Nelson, let me have to pin this picture, right? The House of Representatives and that of Senate are for gentlemen and ladies, people who have some understanding and have high moral value with high self-esteem and who stand for principles. But a guy called Yeka Kolba trying to bully another man.
Remember, let me conclude.
I'm just trying to paint a picture that he asked.
No. Okay, but then Raymond, I thought Emmy concluded. Raymond, just keep the
No,
picture.
he already let he finish now. Conclude.
Okay.
So we can have individuals going there and what Yeke did. The question you asked. That's just unacceptable and should be disgusting to any of us. And none of us should call it a joke. That's not a section for a joke. And you don't joke a man by trying to grab his hands, calling him names. That's bullying. That takes away from somebody's self-esteem. Nobody should consider that. Anybody who call that a joke, that person is a bully.
Okay. I mean, you want to conclude?
Yeah. So, like I was saying, people need to learn that they deserve better than somebody just giving them $20 and $40 and $50. That's why these people do what they do, because they think you're comfortable with it. When they steal from you and come and give you a little bit, that's what you want. You heard them a lot of times. They come on here and they say it. So we need to have that mindset that no, you're there to advocate for me to change this system. Your representative cannot get everybody $50 in that district. Impossible. He cannot do that. So just because he's doing it for you and you think he's a lawmaker, a good lawmaker, what about the rest of the other people that are there? So we should be advocating for these people to do their job, what they are there for, advocating, oversight, and all of that, instead of us wanting $2 or $5 when they do it. Then if they don't do it, then they mean. People are not voting for that. Mean. Nobody's, no lawmaker, no government officials have to come past your door, or you standing on the way waiting for him to pass to give you money. That's not how it's supposed to work. And we need to change from that. If we ready the change that we want, we all are involved in it. And it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy sometimes. It's going to hurt some people. Change is not easy. And we just have to be intentional and consistent with it. We can't say we want change and when they're doing stuff that bring the change and everybody frowning on it or to have different things to say. It's not going to happen. That's all I have to say. Nothing.
Thank you, Emmy. Thanks a lot. So, guys, I think that's how we'd like to wrap up for tonight.
That's how. Yes, about to draw the curtain for today's vision, right?
I want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone for being here tonight. It's been a great show. Thank you, Raymond, for your contribution tonight. Thank you, Cindy, for your input. Thanks to you, Francis. Yeah. Thanks to you, Ami, as well. Ami, you came in very late, but we appreciate the fact that you showed up. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Moba, for taking.
Story.
You have to announce that.
I think it was a car story that brought.
Hello to Bele Bengba.
One of my emulations. Appreciate our viewers, man. Like all the people that have been, taking off their time, watching us, listening to our video.
Baba, I even don't mind.
Thank you.
Moba, you interrupt a lot.
How many times interrupt you, my people?
Moba interrupt a lot.
What? How many times interrupt you?
No. That's true.
Molba is the Yeka Kodba on this show.
Moba interrupts a whole lot.
My man don't cover me with Yeka Kodba, man. Yeka Kodba, like when you talking Baba thing about spoon, he can't spoon.
Happy birthday to baby Abby.
Okay, yeah. Let me put this out for little Abby Kadu. Abby's birthday is today. We want to, in a very special way, say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Abby.
Happy birthday
to you. Pretty little girl.
So pretty.
I have a 5-year-old for her.
I know.
May God bless you, little one, as you grow up and God your every step and make you the lady that your mom and dad would be proud of and the world would benefit from.
Amen.
Yeah, so happy birthday to you, Abby. Hello, Abigail Kaidu, your mom, Shirley Snell, and your sisters, Gabby, your brother, Judah. They all wishing you happy birthday as you celebrate your birthday today.
Hello, she's a mermaid.
On behalf of the entire team, yeah, Shirley is one of our panelists. So on behalf of the team, we're wishing Abby a happy birthday as well as she celebrates today. So again, I think that's how we'd like to wrap up. Thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond is setting up gradually, but the man green screen can gain chance. I can see the love for the green screen. No, you can make it. The love.
We'll hire your services to set up properly, Nelson.
Guys, thank you, and let's hope we can be here again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have a guest, but we'll handle that backstage. And yeah, we have series of guests coming up for this week. It's gonna be very fast. Most interestingly, most of the guests who should be appearing are on their way. They are on their way for inauguration to Liberia, so it's just that way. Yeah. But our brother Jerry is here as well. Jerry is back in Liberia. He'll be joining us very soon, consistently. Once his power.
I hope you'll be joining us from the left from Miami, not the one from Liberia.
Yeah. But again, thanks to everyone, man.
The man background.
Good night. Yeah.
The man background was dark that hell.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Who's going to be the last to go? Oh, Amy is the.
I was the last to come and the last to leave.
Yeah, the last to leave. So thanks a lot, Miami. We appreciate you.
Right.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon.